We are in the Union of Allied Planets, which is a galactic civilization comprised of numerous member species ranging from the Raxan, who are a reptilian species, to the Drass, who are an avian species. We have the tardigrade species. We've got a human. We've got the Karnath, who are a translucent-skinned, three-eyed species that subsist on radiation, among other things. But you can think of the Union, as it's called, as a kind of federation. It's a little more militarized because we've had some problems in the last 200 years. It's just been a series of one thing after another. We had sentient rocks that like to slam into planets and eat every organic thing on the planet. We had space fungus that turned people into zombies and caused massive planetary problems. We had sentient AI that mobilized an army of mechs and almost wiped us out. But we've survived. And we are in the longest period of peace that the Union has known since its foundation. Which means it's a time of exploration. It's a time of searching to discover who and what we are in this galaxy, what our place is. At least, it should be. But for the crew of the UNV Persephone, there is a more immediate problem. Because we had a distress call. That's you. We had a distress call out of Union Colony Liberation. And your frigate, the Persephone, which is a Bellerophon class light frigate, reasonably sized, well armed, was sent to investigate. And the first sensation that you all have as our camera opens is of falling. Because you find yourselves in one of the very cramped escape pods that come standard on all Union ships, because the Persephone exploded 3 minutes ago. In orbit. As you entered, something shook the trunk drive of your spaceship, of your frigate, and caused a massive explosion. Hundreds of your fellow crew members are dead. You barely managed to get to the escape pod. Any personal effects you had on board, gone. So as you fall, there is one sort of porthole view, and you get just a framed shot as your spacecraft, your home for at least the last year or more, explodes and starts raining fiery bits in orbit down onto the planet below. And then you don't have much time before the pod starts heating up. You feel the shaking force of re-entry, or in this case, just regular entry, to the atmosphere of liberation. And then everything goes black as this pod slams into the ground. I would like you all to make me a grit roll. So, this is a 2d6 system. You are trying to get 7. You will modify with your ability. Just know that if you get a 7 to 9, that's a regular success. If you get more than a 10 or more, that's an exceptional success. If you get less than 7, that's a failure. I'll just need to know if you fail, succeed, or exceptionally succeed.
Succeed.
I'm exceptional. I'm kidding.
I failed.
Normal success.
Okay. And Kay, what did you?
Had an exceptional success.
Fantastic.
Okay,
Fantastic.
wait. I roll 2d6 and then I add my grit.
Correct. Yep.
Which is a 0. Right?
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure I did that right. So
You
I
did
got
it right.
5.
So that you got 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just a failure. Okay. We're starting strong.
Nyx is back.
I remember this character way too well.
So you slam into the planet. And all of you are going to take the bleeding condition. So you'll get bleeding 1, you will get wounded 1, and you will get stress level 1. For those of you who succeeded on your roll, you can remove one of those, your choice. For those of you who exceptionally succeeded, you may remove 2 of those, your choice. Stress level 1 gives you a penalty of -1 to all of your rolls. Wounded level 1 decreases your speed by 1 tier. So you go from fast to medium, medium to slow, slow to snail. And then bleeding 1 is whenever you fail a roll, you take 1 damage.
Cool. So all bad.
The hatch of the pod eventually pops open, and you hear a voice from your interconnected personal communication devices.
Crew status requested.
The commander is sitting not in the driver's, like the pilot seat, but next to it.
Mm-hmm.
They are about 5'10", deep brown skin, shaved head, very low, kind of a little bit of hair on top underneath their red beret. Their dog tags are kind of tangled up, and they are bleeding from a gash above their eyebrow. It's clear there's kind of a jagged, kind of sharp slice in there, and they have another scar on their face from smashing their head into the console. They kind of sit up straight and kind of look around for something to help bandage as they like pop their shoulder back in place. And she turns around at the crew. She's got very soft butch energy. And she wears kind of a chest binder to tame the kind of large breasts that she has underneath, and kind of turns around to the crew, fixing her torn jacket. Y'all all right? What's going on? Report in. Computer's asking.
You hear just a and Mav, who loves to be in control of things that are flying and hates being in things hurtling through space not under control, they crawl out of somewhere. I don't even think Mav knows where they are. And something about Maverick that they always already look really beaten up. Like they have this really cocky attitude that would make you think they're untouchable. But you see, for how young they look, because they look a bit concerningly young, even for like a dress that maybe would hide bits of age, covered in scars and like patches where the feathers just wouldn't grow back right. And so Mav's like bleeding and just kind of tries to go for the casual lean, falls, and then goes for it again, but nails it. Good. Great. I'm great. Captain. Doing good. And then we'll just sink against the wall. Like, we'll hold the awkward pause, and then we'll sink against the wall and just wait.
Sarah was kind of curled into like a pill bug shape, just like doesn't mind the vacuum of space, doesn't like the heat and the dry, because likes the moist. So just like when it started getting hot, was just like and just curled up. They're this weird like they don't wear clothing, but they have several like straps around them. So they have these weird fleshy kind of gray shape, very like stout, with these straps across them with multiple weapons strapped to them. And they come up and they've got like weird folds on their face. And there's these tiny little eyes that you can just barely see. And they kind of like uncurl and go like, and look down, and there's like a piece of something stuck in just above their middle leg. And they just reach in, pull it out, like kind of throw it away in annoyance, shake themselves a little bit, kind of like a dog, reach for their assault rifle and move past Petty, which Petty would know is like, I'm gonna go check the perimeter, and move, just to the opening of the hatch and start looking around. And they shrugged off the bleeding and the stress. They have a wounded, so even walking on 4 of their legs, they're still moving slowly right now.
Excellent initiative, Sarah. I appreciate it.
Nyx is hiding, probably was under their desk, still under their desk, just slightly beaten up, curled up in a lab coat and their Crocs, and calls in and is like, I am alive? Yes, I am alive. And therefore, I guess okay. Is anybody hurt? Does anybody need anything?
I feel like Nyx was both hidden under their desk and behind the curled up Sarah, so no one saw Nyx until Sarah like uncurled and waddled away.
Super hurt, super stressed, but it's great and I'm handling it and it's fine.
I think crawling out of some of the rubble from the crash landing, like part of the escape pod, I feel like peeled off to the side, and crawling out from under that is Glaucus. And you see Glaucus has kind of this deep tones of blue on their arms and their legs, and kind of almost like a stripe down their face and down their back. It's kind of like the silvery gray that goes down. They have a number of different serrata that kind of go off of their skin and almost kind of hover and shift in the air, almost kind of like sensing the different kind of temperature changes. Right now they're vibrating incredibly quickly and disturbingly. But Glaucus looks very worse for wear. There's like a piece of shrapnel just jammed into their thigh. They have some burn marks along their side. They don't wear a shirt ever. Top surgery scars, numerous tattoos all over their chest, and kind of these very loose-fitting, I would say standard issued union pants that they wear, and will crawl out of this rubble, kind of just flop onto their back and look up at the sky and just say, my books.
And in fact, as you look up, you see the flame trails of the Persephone as the debris is rapidly descending on the planet. It's a big explosion, and it was a big ship. There's gonna be a problem for whomever that lands on. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be you.
That was going to be my next question. Are we in imminent danger of fiery wreckage falling from the heavens?
You got projected out far enough that you are safe from the blast zone. Nyx, you wanted to use field medicine on Glaucus?
So if it's okay, I imagine this scene playing out as like Nyx kind of like crawling out, going up to Maverick and like desperately trying to find something wrong that they can use it on, and then realizing that Maverick is just asking for attention, and then getting kind of annoyed, but then physically standing up to go over to Glaucus at the same time. So and to use field medicine on them.
Mav is 100% visibly wounded, but then like when you get close and like they process that you're actually going to try and help, it's like, Oh, yeah. No, I found this bandage and it's like dirty. Like, oh no, it's cool. Glaucus should. I'm just gonna walk away from you. Instant
so-
guilt.
Perfect.
So to do that, you will roll plus your acuity.
Haha. I took the one that gives me extra acuity.
Nice.
I got a 4 plus 3.
That's a 7.
Yeah.
That is a success. So
Yes.
I will. Yeah, I guess you all did probably take a point of damage from that smash. So you can heal Glaucus for 1 point of damage.
Yes. First heal of the game.
First heal. And Sarah, as there is commotion behind you, there's muttering and there is groans of pain. The captain is snapping orders at all of you. You've got your assault rifle in 2 of your 4 arms, or you're using two arms as legs right now.
Yes.
So it's just the 2 arms. You're sort of looking around, and you seem to have crash landed in a valley of some kind. There are very, very tall mountains to your left and right. Further up the valley, you can see there's a waterfall like that, but that's like a mile away or more. It's very clear here and very flat and low. But you have crash landed into a very large field of tall red grass. Like the grass itself is 5-6 feet tall, and it is crimson red from roots to the seeds at the top, which look like little cherries almost. And everything is just sort of swaying. Your ears are probably ringing from all of that noise, but you can hear the swish hush of the grass around you. There don't seem to be any immediate dangers, though.
So Zara is going to stand a moment, and their tongue's going to flick out and grab one of those things of grass and just pull it in. They have this very long, disturbingly, uncomfortably long tongue with spikes at the end. They're just going to grab one and then pull. If it doesn't get the whole grass, they'll at least get the little berries at the top. And ideally, one in the mouth, catch the rest.
Mm-hmm. It has a very tart flavor. Not bitter, though. It's probably not poisonous.
And Sarah will turn and kind of waddle back and give kind of a whole report about. And then just to hold out the berries a little too close to your face, Captain.
Oh, yes, really.
Like kind of stands up on just the back legs so that they're tall enough to put, because they've got kind of stumpy little limbs with like 4 long claws.
Petty grabs them out of your hand. I mean, if you say so. Let me try before anyone else does. I mean, you are very sturdy, and I don't want to put anybody else in danger. Petty pops like a sprig of it into her mouth.
Yeah, the closest thing is like a cranberry, but like far more sour or far more tart than cranberry.
Well, I mean, it'll work in a pinch. It's pretty disgusting, y'all, but, you know, we're going to do what we can. I have a question for you, GM.
Hi, yes, hello.
Number 1, can I roll my command training? Because it's the beginning of our mission.
Yes.
And number 2, how much stress is too much stress?
It's a great question. So you are all at stress level 1, which is the effect of taking 5 stress tokens. So you can take up to stress level 5. So you can take 20 more stress tokens. So you got plenty of stress tokens, you know.
Okay. So 5 stress tokens.
I don't like the way you said that, Alex. You can take
Why?
plenty more. Is that a threat?
To a level.
I don't make threats, Liz.
You make promises. I know
do.
this.
So because I got to shrug off 2 of them, so am I at stress level 0 or am I at
Nice.
4 stress tokens? What's
Nope.
the...
So if you got rid of the stress level, you are at
Yes.
0 stress tokens.
Okay, 0 stress. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So I have command training at the beginning of a mission. Roll plus command style ability. Mine is determined. On a failure, hold 1. No. On a 7 to 9, hold 2. No. I got an 11.
Yes.
So I'm holding 3.
Okay. That's good to know. I've got that in my brain grapes.
FYI.
All right. So we've got everyone sort of bandaged up. Captain, you've taken an assessment of the situation. You are not in immediate danger, it seems. But you are not where you're supposed to be, because where you're supposed to be exploded.
I pop open my communicating device. I know I have a regular communications device and a personal data terminal.
Yep.
I would like to see if I can communicate to, I'd assume we have a base of operations, and let them know that we are currently on this kind of unidentified planet, and we are en route to complete our mission.
So you know the planet you're on. You're on Liberation, which was the planet that you were supposed to be.
So we're in the right area, just not the right location.
Correct. You're on the right planet. You're not in this. So you know that the Union capital is called Newcomb. That's Newcomb, not like Newcomb. Okay. That is where you were supposed to rendezvous with the local authority. That never happened. You don't know where you are in relation to that. And as you pull up your communicator, little sparks are flying off of it. You get like a very quick static blast as you try and turn it on, and then it just dies.
God damn. Which one of you guys could fix this? Any blockers? Oh, really? You're just full of surprises. Here you go. Take a look at this. We got to figure out how to communicate to everybody that we've had this pretty terrible accident. If you could take a look for me, Sarah.
Sarah takes it, shakes it, smacks it, hands it back.
Does it work? No. Well,
no.
You did your best, soldier. I appreciate that. You are nothing if not consistent. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to hoof it. Is there a physical map? I imagine Petty would have a compass.
Yes. Yep, you've got a compass.
Yeah. So
you may have topo charts and those sorts of things, but those would probably be on the ship or have been on the ship.
My brain took that as taco charts for a second. I'm just
I mean the Persephone
preferable.
absolutely had taco charts too, but those also exploded, unfortunately.
I have an ability that is Infiltrator, which is at the beginning of mission roll plus finesse. I got a 6, but that means I still get to hold 1.
Okay.
And
you did not get a 6. Belay that. When an ally in my command presence would fail a roll, I can take a stress token to allow you to re-roll with the bonus, which is plus 2.
Reroll with a bonus, which is a plus 2. Oh, I still rolled like garbage. So that's finesse. So that's gonna be 6, that's 7, and then 8, 9, and then 10, 11 altogether. So that's 3. Thank you so much. So one of my items is, or one of the things that I can hold is supply drop that I've planned ahead to make sure that we'll have all the right tools or weapons for the job. We have access to common items or weapon which is not currently in our inventory, and I think maybe potentially before the crash, kind of looking at these various charts, knowing that we had to go to this mission inside of Glaucus's room, she had brought in one of the kind of topography maps and was looking at it, and was one of the things that they snagged before running down to the
I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
As you all are standing there, a small fiery impact lands maybe 10 meters away. And inside, it, like half wrapped in a force field, Glaucus, are 2 of your most important books and a topography chart.
It's the 2 most important books. I think Glaucus looks over to Nyx and says, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing this for me. One moment." And we'll like crawl over to the force field and then type a little passcode in and reach in. One of the books is of their poetry, and the other is a collection of drawings that Sarah has drawn for them
Oh,
over the year.
that's lovely. So, go ahead, Sarah. Sorry.
Seeing this, like, Sarah looks over and sees, and if Jim will allow, Sarah looks over and sees, this, and it's like, oh. And like it's in that moment, like seeing that emotional reaction that they like realize, and they kind of look up at the fireball and look back, and look up at the fireball and look back, and they go kind of waddling over to Galactus and kind of tug at not their sleeve, but the arm, and will reel back and stand on just their back 2 legs, and they do this horrifying thing that you've never seen them do, where they kind of bend over and reach inside those weird fleshy folds that tardigrades have, like kind of where the very back leg joint meets the body, and pulls out a tiny little book of poetry. And it's like,
you are just so gracious. And I'll exchange the book of drawings with the book of poetry. And I'll look over to Nyx and say, my legs are a bit wobbly right now. Do you mind? I could drag myself over to the captain. Or you could take it, Sarah. It's a map.
I will take it. And Nyx is like stuttering over what they have just seen, but trying to keep composure.
Are you okay?
Yes. And then like goes over to the captain, like, here, but like not taking their eyes off Sarah, just like in shock, not wanting to say anything that might be offensive. So
yeah, Sarah's like flipping through these drawings, which like a 3rd grader does better, right? They're not good, and they're half crumpled, and they're all on toward paper, and they kind of look at them like happy, and then look back up at, like, as it just punch her in the arm, like doesn't know what else to do, and kind of just goes back to kind of watch the perimeter.
Oh. Then lay back down.
So I'll say that, Captain, you do in fact have a map that it's not terribly detailed because of the scale of it. However, after a moment's examination, you are able to discern that there is indeed this like valley in a very big range of mountains that is very far from the capital. At least 200 miles. And there is one town at the very head of the valley. And that town is called Redfield. And it is the only town in at least 100 miles.
I have a question about my skills.
Sure.
When it says I can prevent damage to my ship, does that mean that I can undo damage to my escape pod?
No.
Okay, that's fair. All right. I had to ask.
It's a good question.
Okay, I guess Petty just breaks the news to the crew. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Glaucus. Always prepared. Were you a scout?
I was, and I still am.
That checks out. Yeah, you're amazing.
I know. Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got about a 200-mile trek to the city. I know that's not ideal.
Points to the berries.
Yeah, we do got food. Thanks to Sarah. They figured out that these berries are edible. They are, unfortunately, disgusting. But, you know, we've had worse. Crew, we've had worse. We're not divas, at least not in that way. So I suggest we get a move on. Take what you can from the escape pod, I suppose. We can leave just directions. I'll make a little symbol on the side, so if anybody should find any of this, they can kind of come after us, make sure that we can get rescued out here. I don't know if anybody else has a communication device that isn't broken, but mine's pretty foobar, so. Yeah,
what?
I think I might. Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah, Sarah has a communication device, but again, might be damaged.
I will have
also
all of
smash.
you roll roll me a d20. And if you get
Oh.
if you get above 10, it works. And if you get below 10 or 10 or
I got
below,
14.
it does not work.
It was 16.
Okay.
Also a 16.
4.
Okay. So I don't know, Sarah, maybe you were the reason your communication device doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, Sarah very proudly walks up to Captain Petty, hands over this completely smashed communication device.
No.
Wow.
But the other three, yours do seem to be working. And as you you flip them on, there are standard Union communication channels, and you can cycle through them. There is nothing but static on any of them. Like, the military channels aren't open. You do not hear anything. There is no response to your communications. But Nyx, as you're sort of flipping the channels or cycling the channels, there's a moment where you get just a quick, like, basically you recognize it as a very popular boy band from Union Space, just starts playing at you, and then it cycles back and you're like, oh and if you cycle back to it, the song is ending and you hear someone saying, that was by the Isabel. Anyway, this is the Redfields radio channel. I know you're all listening, I guess. Or I hope you are. Anyway, that song was brought to you by Doug's. If you need a shuttle crash or a cold... I don't know if Doug still sells this beer, but it's on the card, so if you need a cold beer, Doug's got it. It's the only restaurant in town, but you all know that. Anyway, here's Rachmaninoff.
That was an experience.
Yeah. Like I said, I think we're gonna have to hoof it. I know we've got some wounded folks.
I will say, you remember on the map that Redfields is like 3/4 of a mile away from you.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
Yeah,
I
like,
thought
so
that was
Is
all
that
the way
where the
we're-
No, no,
is
no,
that
no.
where the
Yeah.
radio?
Yeah,
signal
that's where the
is
radio
coming from?
signal's coming
Yeah.
from, and like it's at the
Okay.
head of the valley. So based on where you crashed, like it is a bit of a hike, but it's very close compared to the capital, which is hundreds of miles away.
So I feel like Nyx would be
Thank
very
fucking God for that.
excited and be like, "Oh, if this signal's coming in strong, it must mean they must be very close."
Mav is just very quiet, like a very angry parakeet, just puffed and like a toddler, just arms crossed, fuming because he's a space lad. He's a flying boy, and we're on the ground with shit food, and I don't get to touch buttons. I'm having a great time. It's just great. Captain
You wanna
said
touch-
we're not divas, and I'm like, sure.
You want to touch butts? There's at least 4 butts you can touch.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's gonna make it better this time.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know what? I'm sure
Unless
there's-
people are volunteering, because I'm not gonna
You
pass
can
up an opportunity.
always. My butt's a little bit wounded right now, but
So is mine. So is mine. I'm gonna just limp next to Glaucus.
get up on my feet.
I will.
See right
I'll.
here. This is the true meaning of teamwork.
Butt touching.
Butt touching.
Oh, I'm going to. I'll support Glaucus as we limp, because I think you're a little worse for wear than I am. Just very pouty, very very pouty.
Sarah like grabs another berry and sticks it too close to your face.
Oh, you're lucky. I like you so much. I'll take it very gently into the giant beak. Yeah, not bad. All right. Thank you. Oh, limp.
So are we moving on foot towards the town nearby? That's the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Petty is telling a story about a sexual conquest to entertain everyone, and giving some really obviously just nonsensical flora and fauna information about the location that they are in, but sounding very official. And you see, so the red grass, what you're going to want to do with that is you could make anything out of that. You make a blanket.
Right,
make
right. But
reeds,
back up. Okay, but
make
you put her on the
lettuce.
counter?
Well, you see, I'm 5'10". So,
Mhm.
when you're dealing with someone who's petite, you're going to need, that trajectory there to really give
Right.
your full force, the full effect of, your prowess. So
Right.
the person understands. You get it, right? We've had this conversation. That's what I'm saying. So
Maverick's 100% just doing this and then leaning over to make the most shit-eating little faces at Glaucus. I'm funny. I'm like a little jester, right?
You are
Thank you.
very entertaining.
So you
Mav is
walk.
gonna just do the little Sarah waddle, of joy.
So you walk, and there is a path. It's dirt, and you can tell that this is a pretty well-used path. It's got tire marks. It's it's clear there is clearly people nearby and functioning driving technology. And you're following this river. So this path is right along this very swift-flowing river, very narrow. And you eventually come to a little bit of a rise. And you see the town of Redfields, which is, as I've said, this valley is carved by this river. And the river starts at a waterfall at the very back of the town. And from what you can see, it's like a straight shot up the main road to this white painted clapboard building that's got three towers on it. One of them has a bell. You might presume it has some sort of religious aspect to it. But right behind the building is where the waterfall is. So it's the frame of the shot is like there's all of this water just pouring onto this building, even though because of perspective, it's obviously falling behind it. But the buildings are all of construction that looks local. Like they've used local materials. There's one Union prefab building that you recognize. There are factories that just make these pre-made. You plop them down on a planet that you're gonna colonize, and then you don't have to do any thinking. And they're ugly plasteel, and they have jagged angles, and just there is no aesthetic value to them whatsoever. There's one of those buildings, but everything else seems to be handmade wood, stone. It looks cute. It's like an old Earth village almost, for those of you who've been there. And you can see there's enough buildings that there's probably a couple hundred people here. It's a reasonably populated area. And as you walk into town, there are just people wandering around, going about their business. They're dressed pretty simply and plainly. Simple fabrics, nothing very exciting, although you see patches of color here and there. All species. The entire Union is represented in this little microcosm of a town. And you see people sort of giving you looks as you walk in, but it may be because you're bleeding and clearly injured, and at some point someone sort of stops and says, are you folks all right?
Yeah, we're all right. We're a little worse off for wear. Obviously, we had a little bit of a, how do you call it? Well, a total fucking shitstorm is what happened to you. So, we ended up crash landing here. We were supposed to be at the Capitol in the next couple of days, but clearly we're far away off from that. Do you have a place we might clean up a little bit and maybe get get some rations,
Oh,
bed down for the night,
of
set
course. Yes.
first light?
Yeah. Well, if well, it's just that, it's dangerous around here, and Sam is on a supply run with the truck.
That's fine. We can wait until Sam comes back. Sam, your
Oh.
mayor?
Oh no, Sam runs the grocery store.
Or who's your mayor around here? Who's in charge?
Oh, that's Brap.
Yeah. Can I speak to Brett?
Oh yeah, they're right over there. And this person points at the prefab building. But if
Petty
you
kind
want,
of strides over, squared shoulders.
but if you do want food, you can always try Doug's.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. We just heard about that on the radio. Thanks so much.
It
I
gives
look
a
over at
like pained wave.
I look over at Nix. Do you want to get everybody over to Doug's, or what do y'all want to do? Do you want to come with me, or you want to go to Doug's, have something to eat while I figure this out with Brett?
Do you want to go to see this prep alone?
No, I mean,
I
kind of tough as nails. I don't mind. But
I don't
you know,
mind
I understand
coming
we're in
with.
a new place. You want to come with?
Captain, you already know I'm not allowed to be unsupervised, so I know the crash has rattled us all, but
Well, you can't go by yourself. That's
Ah.
not what we're talking about. We're talking about me going by myself. But you're right. Maybe we should
Darn.
just all go as a group.
Yeah, as soon as Sarah heard it was dangerous, like stood up on just the back legs and has a flamethrower, like at one, like the middle foot on the flamethrower,
Yes.
and holding the automatic, and is just like squinting and glaring around.
There are looks from the various passersby about this heavily armed tardigrade, but they don't seem worried. It's more just curiosity. Like, that's weird.
Like
gotta
anyone who
say,
knows Sarah sees the glare, but if you don't know Sarah, it's just a weird wrinkly face.
Right.
I gotta say, Sarah, these people look, well, don't look like you're the scariest thing they've seen, which gives me pause, to be honest with you. I know you're not scary. I'm just saying, like normally people are.
So
All right,
we
well,
are.
this is
when we get inside, just, maybe tuck the flamethrower away. You can keep the other stuff, but maybe just stow it, just for now.
So, like, maybe I will stand outside the building in case we need to, I don't know, maybe not all get captured potentially at the same time. So, I don't know, here, Nyx will hand Petty one of the first aid kits that they have and just be like, just in case. But this way, I can, like, jump in at a window and, like, save y'all. You know?
This is the best plan.
You're
I love
quite
this
Appreciate
plan.
that.
good at doing that, Nyx. Very good
Someday
at
I will be,
heroics.
if I keep practicing, for sure.
I believe in you so deeply.
not that I'm doubting Nyx's abilities, because I would never do that, because they've proven to be excellent in combat. I will wait outside with Nyx as well, just in case they need backup. I'll be the
Right.
backup for the backup,
Right. That's
but
smart.
I know they've got that.
All right.
Yeah.
So we've got Sarah and Glaucus and Petty going into the administration office while Nyx and Maverick wait outside. That's the plan.
Yes.
Yes, I will be your diplomatic partner, Captain.
I appreciate that. I'm good, but I can be rough around the edges.
I'd like your roughness, though.
Oh, thanks, Glaucus. And you get a little wink.
Course. There's no winks from Glaucus. It's just facts.
All right. So you head in, and it's one of those where like the door slides open as you approach it, and it's like you've been in this building before, literally, because this building exists across Union space. This is like your standard admin hab, Mark II, which is a slight step up from the Mark I, but still not as nice as the Mark III. It's there's a lot of metal and glass and like linoleum floor. Like it's all very impersonal and definitely uncomfortable looking. And behind one of those desks that is clearly like ergonomically designed in a chair that is like of the highest scientific and technological advancement, which means it's uncomfortable as fuck, is an Icarian, which, as you all know, are the giant sloth people. Silvery hair in a standard Union like jumpsuit, big eyes, 3 claws on their hands, and they are slowly typing on their screen or on their keyboard. And they look up at you. Welcome.
Greetings.
Are you Union officials?
We are
Do you
indeed.
require assistance?
We do. I am Captain Petty. It's nice to meet you. This is my crew. We have unfortunately had a little bit of an incident. We crash landed here just a moment ago, and I was wondering if I could speak to Brap.
Oh, yes. We heard about the crash, and they like slowly turn their head to look at this big visi-screen on the wall, which is like there's a scrolling thing in bright red that's like crisis at the Capitol, Nukem destroyed by a Union vessel, Union attack. Like, there is a big news alert going on that is implying that the Persephone attacked this planet and was destroyed in the process.
Yeah, well, is there someone I can speak to about this news that's
Well,
on your screen?
You understand Administrator Brapp is very busy.
I'm absolutely sure that's true, but I don't think that Administrator Brap is too busy to speak to the individuals that are responsible for this very confusing seeming atrocity.
I would love for you to roll social for me.
Social, Alex? Why?
Because you're trying to get some trying to chat your way in.
L.
Do you want to do a thing? Because I can do a thing.
Yeah, I think we should do a thing, because that's dismal.
All right. This is going to be fun.
All right.
So, seeing this, like, Sarah has kind of like been like seeing the news alert, they kind of started to shrink back down onto all 4 legs, but then seeing like Petty be like, no, like we're responsible for this. It's like, oh, like not actually reading things correctly, but then also seeing that the commander is not getting what they want. They stand all the way back up, hold the assault rifle in 2 hands, reach the other back, and just kind of step forward and are like, and I'm going to roll that with grit.
Yes, please. All right.
That's a 6 and a 4 plus 2. That's a 12.
An exceptional success. Fantastic. So you gain a confidence token for that.
Ooh.
And the Icarian looks, and I don't know if they blush because of the fur, but like you get the sense that they are abashed, and they say, I am so sorry. I did not mean to impede you. Let me contact the administrator. And they push a button and their headset pings, and yes, there are people here who say they are responsible for the terrorism at the Capitol and would like to speak with you.
No. Why?
Very good. Administrator Brapp will see you now. They push a button.
Thank you very much.
And you are escorted into Administrator Brapp's office, which is, again, like stainless steel. It's got like a potted plant that every office like this has. It's all so very utilitarian. And Administrator Brapp is a Drass, just like Maverick. Bright, white, like snow eagle look about them. Big, spreading wings that are like out and clearly agitated. And they are wearing their standard issue, like, Union Administrator jumpsuit. And I don't know what Drass look like when they're mad, but eyebrows furrowed.
Is this like a Sam the
like
Eagle Muppet
or the
situation?
owl,
Yeah.
like that skinny's up and just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or are they the ones that like do they get mad and the neck puffs?
Yeah,
Ooh.
Maverick puffs
Okay. We'll do it.
when they're angry.
We'll say it's a neck puff.
Okay. Is this
And-
like authoritative Sam the Eagle Muppet territory?
Yeah,
Very
we're
blustery.
absolutely we're in that
It's very
territory.
sexy. Okay. All right.
And Brap has a very chirpy voice. Like the cadences of it, they always go up, so it always sounds like he's asking a question, even when he's mad. He's like, "Would you care to explain this? You say that
Yes.
you're responsible? Impossible."
Let me say this. So that ship that crashed into your capital, that's the USS Persephone. That is our ship that unfortunately we had to expeditiously leave from and then proceeded to kind of slam fist into your planet here, unfortunately. It was not an attack. It was not terrorism. It was simply a horrible mishap and a coincidence. But
There
people are
are
reporting it.
millions of people dead.
Yes, I see that. We feel it. I mean, as you can see, my associates are very upset. We are very upset. We are awestruck in the most sincere way, Administrator Brett. I just wanted to introduce myself and my crew and let you know that we're here and that it was all an accident. If you could just relay that to the Capitol and let them know that this was a very unfortunate coincidence.
Brap is like, as you
my
might
colleague would like you to know that several books lost their lives in this accident.
Many people lost their lives
Also
in this
important.
accident?
Yes.
My apologies, Captain. Do you mind if I maybe try to smooth this over a bit? It seems.
Please, Glaucus. Listen to him if you don't listen to anyone, all right? Her reason is just impeccable and beyond reproach.
I'm listening.
Hello, Administrator Brap. I do apologize for the confusion. You see, it was not our, of course, intention for this to happen. Something we think maybe had attacked us during our travels, and for no apparent cause for us or our fault in that matter, it seemed as though our trunk drive had exploded and we had but mere moments to escape.
That is terrifying.
It was indeed. Thousands upon our ship died, hundreds. And it has been a tragedy, as we can see all around, but we are in dire need of assistance, Administrator.
Well, make a roll as you want. I believe you have a
Okay.
special ability.
I do indeed. My little backbender one. Okay.
Mhm.
Why am I rolling so bad? And I have what, a -1 to all my rolls too?
Yep.
Okay, that is just a success. Like,
Okay.
just.
You see the neck deflate. The wings fold back, and Brap's posture relaxes, and they say, "We have been trying to get in touch with the capital, but so far no one has answered any of our hails. If you need shelter, we're happy to provide it."
Thank you.
Where did you land?
It is a bit hazy for me. I'll look back to the captain.
We landed about a mile back that way, but clearly our ship had other plans, as you can see from your news reports.
Indeed? Well, we can send some people to gather up whatever is left, and we will continue to try to contact the capital. In the meantime, I will talk to Doug, and he can provide you with shelter and food. Oh, thank you. It's
You
clear
can understand Sarah.
It's clear that Brap understands Sarah.
Oh, excellent. Huh, wonderful.
Yes, I had an instructor at the academy whose name was Tim. Nix and Maverick, you're sort of hanging out on the sidewalk, and you see, like, the people are sort of milling around. Some of them are looking up at the sky at the sort of like smoky remains of the ship, talking amongst themselves. And then you see two people in Union militia uniforms. They've got rifles. They sort of touch, the comm bead in their ear, and they look at each other. And then they very, very purposefully walk into a nearby building. And after a moment, they come out with someone handcuffed. Like, handcuffs behind the back. This person is not struggling at all. They're walking along, and you see these two colonial militia people just start walking this person outside of town, like down the road that you just came up.
Does the person look hurt at all, or just chilling?
No, they look like they've just been arrested or whatever, and they look fine otherwise.
Nix, I'm nosy. I want to know. If you come with me, I'm supervised.
Yes.
Yeah, you feel it? All right, let's.
Yep.
Can we, like, average citizens on a walk in the park? Wow, look at that ship, but kind of, get closer.
Nyx just starts info dumping on their latest K-pop obsession and how it's integrated into this new weird drama. As I'm just info dumping as we're walking along.
You would think Mav would be the asshole that wouldn't, be like, yeah, whatever. But Mav is actually, like, really invested.
Excellent. How long do you follow them?
As long as it takes. As long as it takes.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. If we're gonna get in trouble, let's get in trouble.
We already forgot why we were outside anyway at this
This
point,
is
I
true.
feel like.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like we were standing there and nothing happened.
They were taking forever.
I'm sure they're
Even
fine.
these two alone, we knew was going to be a
Yep.
problem. It's
I'm sure-
better than
I'm
I
sure
thought it
it's-
would be.
Fine. They're probably having a lovely conversation about
Right.
diplomacy,
I mean,
and they
if
won't
need
need
us-
window through, like, backup. So
No.
yeah.
So we'll say that if you just follow these people,
This could be an innocent person.
They start walking out of town, and they just keep walking.
Oh, they're totally gonna execute him. Yeah, no. This is like they do this shit on Space Cops. I don't know if you watch that, but yeah.
I haven't. No, it's on my list though.
Yeah, it's really bad, actually. I don't know why it's still airing, but it is kind of, like, fun to watch because then you watch, like, the actual militia and they do the same things and you're like, oh, yeah.
I heard the theme song doesn't quite go with the vibe of the show though. Like something's a little off about it.
It doesn't drive.
Yeah.
It's weird.
What is weird is that they've taken you back to the red field, where your escape pod crashed.
Oh.
And as they get to this red field with the grass, and you can still see, like, smoke coming out of your escape pod deeper in, they unhandcuff this guy. And everyone shares a very meaningful look. And then this man just walks into the field.
Just like Jesus style? Like, just keeps going?
Well, he goes in.
Did he part the red field?
It's
I
not
have a
that,
comment about that.
it's not that he parted the red field.
How dare you?
Because
Sorry.
the thing that parts the red field
Oh.
came up on him very quickly.
Oh.
And you hear something very swift moving through the grass, and you see the grass swaying in ways that the wind shouldn't be causing it to. And then you hear a scream, but it's not one of pain. It's almost one of ecstasy. And then there is a very loud snapping sound and a very wet squelching noise. And as soon as the guards, the local militia, notice or finish what they're doing, making sure that whatever happened there happens, they turn around and they notice both of you just sort of like staring at them. And we have here a Bolam, which are very large leonine cat people. And we have Callus, who is a Raxan, very much like Glaucus, lizard person. And they've got their Redfield's colonial militia uniform on. It's all kind of ill-fitting. It's like a one-size-fits-all, and the cat person Bolam is very big, and it's a little strainy, and then the Raxan is a little small, and it's a little baggy and whatever. They don't... Yeah, it's someone messed up here. But they do have weapons, and it's not, like, immediate, but they do... It's like you notice safeties go off, basically.
Wow, this was a great jaunt outdoors. I'm just like kind of trying to hook my arm through Nix's arms and just really like, it's so great seeing the fields. We should go see the rest of the town that's not here.
Just got here though.
We did, and you're just leaving. Isn't it funny how time works?
Yes, we are leaving.
We're leaving.
Right. We are leaving.
Yes.
Nix also finally catches on and starts like,
oh my god, we're gonna die.
You hear a very loud voice, sort of tinged with a little bit of if a cat were speaking, like that vibe. Did you just get here, or...
Yeah, we are here on a trip. We just happened upon this beautiful locale, and we wanted to see a little bit more of it, just real spur of the moment type thing. It's pretty great.
Oh, I wanted to see if you had a particular plant, maybe, because I can do medicine stuff with it and make things that are helpful for the whole community with plants. Hence why we're
so smart. I don't know anything about anything. I just wanted to see what their brain could pick up, but we're gonna...
I would love
it's been a lovely jaunt.
I would love both of you to make me a social roll.
Oh god. Okay, how do I do that? What do I do?
So you will roll 2d6 and add your social modifier to it.
I got a 7 because I have a -1 in social.
Okay.
I got 2 6s. Is that good?
Yeah, that's
great.
about the best you can get. So
Cool.
that is an extreme success. So you will get.
Oh, it's a -1. I don't know if that matters.
It's still above 10, so you still
Okay.
that's still an extreme success, and you get a confidence token for that. And Nyx, you also, that's a success.
Yes.
So the two of them sort of look at you, and you realize that maybe you're not talking to the greatest lights of the settlement. And the Raxan sort of looks at the Bolam and says, well, we do have a lot of really cool plants around here. And the cat's like, yeah, I accidentally ate one of those berries once. Okay, do you guys know about the berries?
What
How
happens? What's the berries?
And then they like turn to point at the field that they just sent someone into. And they both are like, actually, there are no berries.
We all went to the same school of talking to people.
Please forget we said anything about the berries.
Berries, man, you can't get berries anywhere. It's
Nowhere.
Right. Just like we weren't here, right? You don't have any berries, and we were never here.
They look very, like, conspiratorially at each other, and then at you. They sort of cross their arms, and they're like, and you didn't see us anywhere near the not berries.
No
Right.
one saw anything. No, I don't even know where I am.
Nope.
I'm gonna start.
We just
just moonwalk out very, like, backwards, really slowly.
Nix is gonna attempt to moonwalk, but is very bad at it. And I don't know if you've seen that clip of Michael Jackson trying to get Michael Jordan to do the moonwalk, but it's that
Yes.
level of bad at moonwalking.
Fantastic.
I'm 100% doing the Nick Miller. Just shoulders. Yeah.
They follow you and sort of come in alongside. And
That's even worse.
we would be happy to take you back to Redfields. Have you been to Doug's yet?
No. It's on the list. We were just taking our jaunt to nowhere. I'm going to look at Nyx for help.
Who's Doug?
No.
He runs the cafe diner.
Right. No. Yeah. Yep. I know Doug. Yeah. He's the reason I'm not here right now, actually, because there was medicine things that were needed that have nothing to do with the berries that are also not here. So
They both look very concerned all of a sudden. They're like, is Buddy okay?
Buddy
No.
is great. Buddy is going to be great. And we were just saying, I'm gonna try to save this. Listen. Can I be honest with you? Can I be honest with you guys? All right.
Oh, yeah.
Just between us here. It got dark. Got dark at Doug's. And the two of us, we just really need to get some fresh air. We need to see some sunshine, be reminded of the joys of life and the universe. Buddy, you'll be okay. But it was just real harrowing. Can't talk about it. Sworn to secrecy. Doug's wishes. But that's why we stepped outside. It's gonna be fine.
I'll take one more social check from you.
Sweating.
As a bird sweats.
Yeah. Like, it's just feathers. It's just very, very small feathers.
Kind of that when they're so puffed up, they look wrinkly.
Yeah.
Like that kind of like
is
first little bit of puff.
a 7 total.
So that is a success. You can see that the rat, and they have name tags on, or like badges, whatever. You can see that the Bolum cat person is named Scanlo, and the Raxon person is named Mop. And Mop looks like they are about to cry about Buddy. And you see Scanlo put a gigantic cat paw on the shoulder and be like, I'm sure Buddy will be fine, especially with two very skilled doctor people looking after
That's
him."
right.
And I think-
That's correct.
I think we will allow you all to walk back to Redfields together. And the militia guards seem like they you make idle chit chat, but they don't seem suspicious. Which, who knows why. Back at the town hall, if you will, the prefab structure where Administrator Brapp has their office. You had previously sort of negotiated at the very least, since the administrator isn't going to be phoning in about you, because there were some issues with communications, and you convinced them that you were not reason for the attack that was going on in the capital. So if there is nothing else that you wanted to do here, you are free to be released into the town of Redfields on your own cognition.
I feel like we need to get away from this person as quickly as possible before we step in it again.
Yeah, Captain Penny like nods to Glaucus, like, give our leave, and then like just like shoves Sarah toward the door, like.
It was very lovely meeting you. It's Admiral, correct?
Administrator, but
Administrator. Well, you could have fooled me.
I don't know how bird people smooth their hair down when they're trying to be suave, but that move happens.
Glaucus will give a very deep, respectful bow before turning and ushering these two out. There's some small chatter of just like, this is why I need to handle the negotiations, or else we agree to things that we did not do, Captain.
Yeah. Well, this is why the best captains trust their team, because it takes all kinds, doesn't it, sir?
As you are all leaving, I would love for you to make me an acuity check.
A 1 and a 3.
Yeah.
6 total.
Yeah, is a 6 down?
It is not.
Yeah, I got a 5.
Okay. So you can
Wait, I have a
either...
reroll. I'm
Yes,
rerolling.
you all
Oh
do have
shoot, reroll, let's go.
Wait.
I rerolled, I
One
got
of us
worse.
sees it, it's okay.
Okay. So
I have a +0 to acuity, so
Okay,
I'm not.
I'm gonna reroll.
okay.
Someone's got to try.
Someone's
It's
gotta
not
try.
my negative, but it's a 0.
I got a 7.
Yes.
Okay. So as you
Captain,
are being ushered out, you're exiting the Union administration complex, which is again that like prefabricated. It's like there's one of these in every settlement in the entire Union space. You hear a comm ping from the secretary's desk, and you hear a voice say, "Yeah, we confirmed they went into the field."
Hetty tries to not let any look cross her face, and the two of you just feel like the thud as her boots just speed up. Like all of a sudden Petty's like beside you until they're not, and like she's like at the door like doing one of these numbers. The second that I get outside, I look for my people.
I think for plot reasons, although I don't think the timing's right, for plot reasons, we will have Maverick and Nyx coming up the road, accompanied.
I feel like
Oh, go ahead.
Sarah made a lot of small talk with the
We were
administrator.
moonwalking
to,
the whole
yeah.
time, and that carried us the distance. Yeah.
Faster and more efficiently, right?
The combination of things.
Yes.
Snow moon.
I think I run. Like when I get outside of the administrative office, like I break into a full-on run. Y'all all right? Are y'all okay?
Are the guards still with us?
As soon as you like crossed into town, we'll say that Scanlo and Mop both.
Or did they do like one of these?
Yes, and they seem to be heading to Doug's.
Oh no.
To go check on Buddy.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck. Okay. So don't get mad. You left us unsupervised. I want to put that out. We were left unsupervised.
We did our best.
We did our
Said,
best.
excuse me, I did not leave anybody unsupervised. Y'all said that you wanted to stay outside, and I believed you could do that. Where are you coming from? I expected you to be right outside on this porch.
Oh, it's so bad when you're disappointed in us. Oh, it hurts so much.
What is this? What happened?
I have more wounded than when we landed.
Did you go back out there? Oh my goodness. Come on.
Okay, but like right now, they're gonna go check on somebody that may or may not be injured that we told them was potentially dying. So
Okay, no, this is not the important part. This is not the important part because we're gonna make up for it. We're gonna make up for it. I'm gonna put out a high five for Nyx because we're a great team and this is perfect. Excellent. No, the field. There's something fucked up in the field.
We were just in the field.
The berries.
No, it's worse now. There's berries, but it's worse now. We took a walk because we got bored because we were outside and there was nothing to do. And going to the field, those guards were carrying a prisoner out to the field. And something was in there and something was in him. And it was just really like a lot to process.
What do you mean in him?
So you know those scrolls we found of like those stories of tentacles?
Yep.
Similar to those
yeah.
ones. That night we drank all that stuff and we were up just reading those stories.
I thought that was just fan fiction.
Well, you know, art and reality are so connected. Anyway, the field.
So the guy's fine then, right? I mean, he had a nice time and he came back and.
Not those ones.
No. He went into that field and something. Did something come out after that, Alex?
No. So you saw blood spray.
Great.
You heard the sound of someone being very brutally dismembered.
Something definitely came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He I mean, he certainly enjoyed it, but he didn't come back out. Yeah, from the field. Yeah, he's still there.
Probably in pieces.
Yeah, it was wet, not in the fun way.
So now we got to go to Doug's so that somebody doesn't tell someone that they're not actually dead.
I mean,
Or
we
we
could
could
actually
just-
try to kill them. but-
Yeah, we could
I don't
just
think that's a
do
good idea.
that.
Can I
Hand
tell you
goes
what
to the
happened?
flamethrower.
No. Sarah, please,
I
please,
can
please.
sneak in if we need it.
Yeah, I think, you know,
What?
everyone,
Did
I
anyone-
recognize that I am your captain, but we need to put more on Glaucus, I think.
Captain?
They know what they're doing. Yes.
Did anyone eat the berries from the field? Was it just okay? You'll probably be fine. Did you have any, Captain?
Why?
Well, those gentlemen out in the field, young people out in the field, started to tell us something about the berries, and not eating the berries, and then
they stopped and said there weren't any berries.
Nyx,
Pulls out
because
several berries.
because we were not supposed to be there, and we were trying to bargain for our lives, not because the berries disappeared. Berries are still
Right.
there.
Petty
Right.
smacks the berries out of Sarah's hands. Like kicks some
Honestly,
rocks
they are
and dirt over
probably-
them.
They are probably fine.
They could probably survive.
Probably, but I mean, if there's no berries, how are we gonna look walking around with a fucking fuckload of berries? I mean, we can't.
It's a lot for me. I'm
Sarah's
very
going to start
small.
stepping on the berries to pop them, so people don't see berries on the ground in the middle of the street.
No,
No.
just a giant tardigrade stomping on berries in the middle of the street.
Yes.
Petty's like trying to kick like dirt and rocks over it, like there's like a fine paste under you. There's an accident.
Accident.
Accident?
Yeah. Now how we're supposed to be making our way down Nukem? It's well, it's foobar, so to speak. Our ship may have smashed it to smithereens, I think would be the appropriate term. It's all over the news in there, and I tried to explain our intentions to the administrator, and unfortunately, I quite literally ruffled his feathers. But this is Glaucus to the rescue. He went in there, got in there, said all the right stuff, was very impressive, made it potentially a lifelong connection, and that's why we're going to be going ahead and letting her do all the talking. So, what do you got on Buddy? Nothing, right? Nothing.
Oh, so we weren't the worst. We were fine. We're fine.
We're fine.
And
Look
Nick's
at
looking
that.
over at Maverick and like, we were freaking. They had worse. They did a worse thing than we did.
We did great.
Yeah. No, this is good. This is good. I feel
Arguably-
much better about this situation. Yes.
Arguably not the worst, I guess.
I will take it. I will take it.
Sarah is slowly eating another berry.
I'm just gonna smack it. Enough. Down.
They deflate.
Thank you.
We're gonna go get some food, right? We're gonna take everybody by the hand, go to, what is it called?
Doug's. We're
Doug.
going.
We shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't go to Doug's.
Maybe
that-
we
I'm just
shouldn't
gotta
go to
somewhere else.
Doug's.
I
Maybe
feel
we
like
should
the
go to Doug's.
size
Maybe
of
we
this
shouldn't.
town, it seems weird there'd be an ad on the radio for a place that's literally right there. That freaks me out a little bit, but
How many
so
Doug's
far
just
only
working
2
hard.
people know that we've destroyed the city by accident.
Which
Yeah.
means, what if Doug's is a honeypot?
Yeah, Petty looks at you and is like, but we can't have any more berries, Sarah. We can't.
No.
Sure, but
Starts
what are we gonna do in the
explaining.
meantime?
Yeah.
Starts explaining, what if the advertisement for Doug's is to get people here to get them in the field?
Oh no. Yeah.
I would like all of you in this moment to make me an acuity check.
I don't
Oh,
like it when
no.
you say words.
No, not at all. especially
Okay.
not berries.
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
It's
Oh,
that grave
not
tone
bad.
of like something is going to occur. A process is going to occur on
Is there-
you.
Is there a critical failure in this system, Alex?
There is not.
Good.
Now,
I got
I
a
got
1.
12.
We're doing acuity.
8,
right?
yes. 8.
6.
Ah. Okay. A 7. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, plus
all right.
1.
For those who failed, you can take a stress token to re-roll that with a +1 modifier in addition to whatever modifiers you have.
I had my flash of brilliance. I'm good.
Okay.
It's probably wrong, but it's brilliant.
In that case, Nyx, you get a confidence token for your extreme success.
Yes.
And you're standing around having this conversation in, I'm not going to say the middle of the street, because you're all professionals, goddammit.
Yes, we are.
But you notice that when you first came into town, people were sort of just going about their business. And now you see that people are sort of, they look like they're just nonchalantly walking around, but it's very clear that people are sort of like meeting up, and you are being watched constantly.
Great.
I think Sarah has a point.
No, don't freak out or look around or make any movement whatsoever right this second. But everybody is kind of low-key watching us, and I think maybe they want to send us to the field next, and it's kind of making me nervous.
Just came from the field. I'm not going back in there. We're
I'm so
back in there.
natural. Everything
Hand goes to the flamethrower.
We should
Nobody stops you this time.
patience. Let's figure out what's going on, maybe, before we get gun happy. Why don't I could try to see if I can steal a uniform. Find out more.
I want to help with this actually. Alex, have I seen any aircraft around, even if they're like small? Even if it's not like extra atmosphere, like just means of transportation.
So I will say the only aircraft that you noticed was when you were walking back from the field. There's like an old farmhouse that had a very like questionably serviceable shuttlecraft. You haven't seen anything in the town, but it's like it's one of those where like it's a shuttlecraft that's parked on a front lawn of like an old farming house that it's like maybe it's got the necessary engines and whatever, maybe it doesn't, but you have like that is the one sort of, I mean, it's not like overgrown with stuff. It's not like the space wheels are up on cinder blocks, but
it's a toss up of if it works. Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense. Did the farmhouse seem populated or did it look like abandoned?
There were several Phillips sort of wandering around in the overgrown yard. It looked like someone did live there. It just didn't look in the best of shape, we'll say.
Okay, Glaucus, if you go in there, because I don't want to go there. I'm team. Let's not go in there. Maybe I can try and get us a ride
Into the Doug's or farmhouse?
an escape ride. The farmhouse had a little piece of junk that maybe might be flight worthy. It might not be comfortable, but in case we need to get a quick, I just don't love that. I'm just openly getting a gesture to the people staring at this. Mav has no tact. I don't love this. This does not agree with me. And I feel like
I don't either. I could get into the farmhouse and see if it's working. Confer or just distract.
I'm not an authority, so I'm getting turned to a captain. I don't know.
I think that's a good idea. I want to offer to go with you so that you don't have to go by yourself, but I think it's smarter if I stay here, considering. And I'd look over at Nyx and Maverick. Do you want to take Sarah? Sarah, you gotta listen when you're in there, though. You can't just be, I know you're a wild card, and that's part of why we like you, but you can't be, doing your special moves when it's not time. I'm not shaming you. Pleased to have you as part of our cadre. Just, you need to just make sure that let Glaucus take the lead.
Sarah will give a nod and then punch Petty in the shoulder just a little too hard.
Understandable. I get it. It's fine. I understand. You're a professional. You should be allowed to do whatever you want. I just don't want us to make any sudden moves. It will be your time, though. It'll be your time. Soon. I've got a feeling. Anything you need, soldier? I look at Glaucus.
I'm just gonna tap my purse. And I got a knife. Everything's fine. I think everything's all right. We can always communicate with you once we have secured the passage out.
I think I look at Sarah just to check in and make sure that I haven't hurt them because they feel undervalued.
Now, Sarah is, you could see they're uncomfortable in this situation with everyone staring. Now that they're not used to everyone staring, because they are fairly rare in the universe, but everyone's looking at their crew funny, and they don't like that. So it's probably better that they're not just hanging out in town, because they're getting a little having something to focus on besides everyone staring at their crew. It's probably a good thing for him.
Yep.
Sarah's gonna walk up to Nyx and kind of put up a hand, is this okay? Because Sarah knows how much Nyx is very comfortable with them being very close to her.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Mm-hmm.
And with a speed that this large, bulky creature normally does not have, squishes a berry and paints a crappy little mustache onto Nyx's face.
Perfect. See, this is why we keep you around. See, now you're disguised.
Beautiful.
And they won't have any idea who you are.
That's valid.
Yeah. Just maybe do an accent or something.
Yeah, you have a twin. That's a doctor. Maybe, or you've
we'll
never
figure
been
it
through
out
your
when we
life.
get in.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. So you're gonna go to the farmhouse then with Sarah, and we're gonna go with Glaucus into the diner, and hope for the best.
I just don't trust this diner business. I think if anyone's gonna do a good job of figuring out what the fuck is going on in there, if things go south, it's gonna Glaucus. You've got that.
Thank you.
This is dream team over here. Sarah and I, we got the ride. Anything goes south, there's so many guns. There's so many weapons between the two of us. We'll be
all
fine.
I need from you, Maverick, is to remember that you have a communicator. If even one thing goes wrong, if there's a creak in the floorboard, if there's a bat that flies out of a belfry, if a Phillip blows up next to you, whatever it is, I need a report. All right? You can't don't keep it to yourself.
I promise I will think really hard every moment. What would captain do? And think about it really hard.
That's a slippery slope, but good enough. Good enough.
Sarah will put a really heavy clawed hand on Maverick's shoulder. And then, like, they've only got, like, 3 claws, but they do, like, a 1 thumbs up, claws up at the captain.
To the other hand, visibly wincing.
I appreciate the 2 dream teams you've given me. Thank you. This is wonderful. So, to my, so I know we've got Sarah and Maverick going to the farmhouse. We've got Petty, Nyx, and Glaucus going to Doug's. Okay. I think we will start with Doug's. So, Sarah and Maverick, you head out down the road. There is a Phillip on Sarah's shoulder for some reason. It's a beautiful thing. This gentleman. So
I am imagining Sarah trying to hold one, and cats look to wiggle out of your grip, but you have so many arms that you just keep. Baby! Oh my goodness.
So, Sarah and Maverick, you head down the road back towards the farmhouse, leaving Petty, Nyx, and Glaucus to go to Doug's.
Maverick, I think you're one of the faster ones of the group, which is going to drive you crazy because of the damage that Sarah took. Even walking on all 4 is still a slow speed. So it's just this very broad lumbering of 4 legs.
No, I'm gonna hold one of your legs like I'm holding your hand. We're just gonna. I am not wounded from the crash, but I am a wounded bird. I get it.
This is a beautiful scene as you see Maverick hold one of Sarah's legs, and they walk towards the sunset. And the sun is setting. It is getting to be that time. And you come to a corner building that the rest of the settlement is like wood buildings, local construction. It's kind of rough, but it's serviceable. And then there's this building, which is made of more metal and stone, and it's got big neon signs on it that says Doug's, and they flash, and there's a little tiny neon thing of a Phillip that's like, it blinks and it walks around, and then it walks towards the Doug's, and then it gets to the Doug's and it inflates, and it has this like look on its face like and there's a steady stream of people going in, like it's dinner time, so supper time, whatever you want to call it, and this is clearly a local like community fixture. So when you go in, it's weird how much space is in this building based on what you saw on the outside, but it's like you go in and it's cozy. It's got like nice thick booths in a very 50s diner style, little tables everywhere, and then there is at the opposite end an elevator that takes you up to a second floor that like rings the top, so you can see all the way up, but like there's more space up there. And it's very cleverly put together in terms of making the most of what the space is. To your left as you come in, there is a very long counter bar situation with stools, plenty of people sitting there. There are clearly wait staff going around to tables. It's busy, it's loud. There are all kinds of different people here, and it smells fantastic. Like, it's just that, like, you walk in and all of a sudden you didn't realize how hungry you are. But the thing that I think draws your attention is you see Scanlo and Mop, who are the 2 guards that Nyx encountered earlier, and they're sort of leaning against the counter, talking to someone. And the someone that they're talking to is standing on the counter, because the someone that they are talking to is about a foot tall. They are wearing a chef's apron and a little hat, and that is it, because they are a naked mole rat person. And they have a Phillip next to them that is as tall as they are, and they're just scritching the head while they're talking. and like you know, big mole rat teeth, big eyes, very expressive. And you get the impression that you found Doug.
Are you the proprietor of this place?
Doug looks up at you, adjusts their little cap. Am I the proprietor of Doug's? Yeah, I'm Doug.
It's a nice place you got here. I heard your ad on the radio, and we're here to see about your finery and your wares. It smells wonderful.
Thank you. Are you here for the special? We got shuttle crash today.
What's that?
Oh, it's a kind of Vakari sausage over earth potatoes fried with a little bit of elven gravy on top.
Sounds good. I think like I kind of like throw a glance over to Glaucus, remembering like they wanted to kind of sneak and try to find something. So Petty just kind of moves their body so that she's like in front of where Glaucus is standing, so they're free to just vanish.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take that time. I want to get a gauge of the area, see, you know, bathrooms, if there's a back office, pretty much any doors that aren't the exit. I want to get eyes on those.
All right, I'll have you make an acuity roll for that. And Nyx, are you also lurking, or are you?
Nyx is lurking because Nyx is afraid that they're gonna be like seen for whatever reason. Yeah, so they're just kind of like half hiding behind Captain Petty, but like trying not to be obvious about it. But
all right,
we'll
I'll
see
have
how
you
that
make
goes.
me. I'll have you make me a finesse roll to stay hidden.
Just Captain Petty and then a line of people directly behind them, all like being discreet.
I got a 9.
Okay.
I mean, Captain Petty is tall and broad, so.
Wait, what am I what am I adding? To it? Am I adding
Finesse.
anything? Finesse. Okay, I got a 10.
Fantastic. All right. So we'll start. Glaucus, there are a number of exits. There are bathrooms. There's a kitchen. And there is like a stock room that you assume. It's got, you know, there are all these little signs. And then up on top, you're able to glimpse what looks like a sort of office setting, like a door into an office. Nyx, as you're sort of lurking, you see Scanlo and Mop look at you, and it must be Syrah's berry mustache, because their eyes just sort of glide right over you as though they've never seen you in their life. So, what brings a very tall and handsome Union captain to my humble establishment?
We're actually trying to get out to Newcomb and figure out, you know, what's left of that village, that beautiful city. I'm sure they can't all be wreckage, right?
Well, it doesn't sound like there's much left.
Yeah. Still, got to get to the surrounding area. We had some business up there. What's the next city over again?
Oh, it's Newcomb, but it's not a city anymore, so...
Yeah. Do
No,
you have
and-
another Union outpost anywhere close by?
Well, that's the thing about these colonies, you know? It's few and far between.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I
With-
mean, gotta make the best of what we got right now then, huh?
Indeed, and with Timothy out on his supply run, you know...
I heard about that. When's he due back in town?
Well, he's supposed to be back in a couple days, but who knows if he got caught up in that.
That's true.
Maybe a while.
Well, you know, it's a nice little hamlet you have here, so it's fine if we have to spend a couple days. Not a big deal. But yeah. I don't know if we're gonna be setting up shop here or trying to move on, but while we're here, we're gonna embrace y'all, if that's okay.
Holds out his little arms. You know, there's not much of a wingspan whatsoever, but it's
Petty.
happy to have you with us. And, you know, if
Petty-
you got union credits, they'll spend here, no problem.
Petty tries to give him a hug, but like goes in very unsure how to not crush this thing to bits.
I feel like it's just a little like it's gotta be just like a
Yeah.
little squeeze.
I think so, like a little
He's very soft.
So I kind of like do like a little like suave like look around to make sure that Glaucus is gone.
Oh, Glaucus is left during that entire
Yeah.
conversation has
Good.
gone to the stock room.
Okay.
Okay.
Slipped
So-
in there.
Seeing he's gone, I think Petty like calms down and takes Nyx around the shoulder. You want to go get a seat. Wait for the rest of our crew to become indisposed.
Nyx then completely swoons and forgets what we're doing and why we're here, and that they have a berry mustache on their face, and it's just like, yeah, whatever you want, Captain. And like,
Yeah, I think I lead them to a table and kind of get them in the booth next to me, and then I'm like, all right, so we're just gonna have a nice time. We're gonna look around, keep our head on a swivel, make sure nothing weird's happening, and I don't want to say be normal because that's not it. But we're gonna try to do that. That's what we're gonna do.
yeah,
And, maybe give them a little time if you want.
I mean, it's been a while.
Doug's is a very good place for a little romantic tete-a-tete, let me say. Even though it is crowded, the space is intimate. You know, he's managed. Doug knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
A mole rat of romance.
I have to ask, are they doing the share the milkshake trope or are they doing the plate of spaghetti trope?
Oh, it's sure a
Ooh.
milkshake, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though Nyx is lactose intolerant, she'll take it.
It's oat
How much
milk,
gas?
because so is Petty.
Yeah.
Yes. I will say, if you do get a milkshake, it tastes almost tart.
No, Alex.
Why does it?
Petty takes
Wait a
one sip
minute.
of the milkshake and looks at Nyx and goes, "You're gonna go ahead and let me have this, I think. You go ahead and pretend you're taking drinks out of this, but I already ate the berries, so just keep yourself together, okay? I'm your captain. That's an order."
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Glaucus, you were in the storeroom.
Yes. Being in the storeroom, I would like to use my second part of infiltrator, and I would like to use false identity, and I want to find a waiter uniform, like
Okay.
buried in here, and basically like put that on really quickly, and then be able to just kind of walk around like unseen in a way, just
Absolutely, you can do that. There is a Doug's uniform staff, wait staff. It fits. I think that's the craziest thing about it. And it's a good fit. Doug has, I don't know, he orders from the right places.
Real nice.
So you walk out, and there are enough wait staff, and it's busy enough that you people see you, but they don't notice you. There are a few people who kind of wave at you, but
I 100% take the order. Oh yeah, I'm like feeling I'm in it to win it. Just like, oh yes, what can I get for you? These are I memorized the specials. It's like, these are the specials for tonight. Like, I grab menus. It's a whole thing. I'm invested.
there is the shuttle crash is overwhelmingly what people are interested in. And it's one of the,
Of course.
but so you're able to go wherever you want. Is there a particular locale that you want to?
Yeah, I'm gonna take my section upstairs.
Right.
And
Okay.
kind of go through and make sure everyone's checked on, get additional waters and drinks for people, and then I'm gonna try and sneak into that office.
All right. I will have you make me a finesse roll, I think.
I would love to.
Thank you.
Make a finesse roll. Oh shit. Because that's only a 6. That's a 7 though.
Okay. That is a success.
Okay.
So I think part of the issue is this is Doug's home. Doug does not anticipate anyone trying to get into Doug's space. But you walk into this office, and you were expecting an office, right? Desk, chair, filing cabinets, little terminal, whatever. It does exist, but it's all Doug-sized. Like
Of course.
the monitor is very small. The keyboard, I don't know that your fingers can work it. The filing cabinets are all this big. If you open one up, the sheets of paper are just like so small.
You know what's so great about everything being small? It's really easy to pick up. And
true.
I'm gonna just like I have like a bag or something. I'm just gonna like shove a bunch of shit like into this bag. I'm gonna steal the computer. It's like we can find power somewhere. It's fine. I'm just going to sweep this place as much as I can for everything that looks important.
All right.
It's not nailed down.
I will have you make me an acuity roll just to make sure that you notice everything.
I'm gonna take a stress token because that's not good.
Okay. So
Can I use my command stuff when I'm not in the same area as my crew?
no, you need to have.
Okay.
You need to have either like the communicator or some means of.
Oh yes, in my command presence.
Yes.
Got it.
That's much better. That's a 9 instead of a 4.
Fantastic. So you sweep the room, and maybe it's because you're basically just clearing this mole rat's office out, but you find there is a safe, like a floor safe. And as you're sort of looking down to figure out how to open it, and you hear a very, very smooth voice say, "Good evening, Redfields. I hope you're doing well. This is Ithelin, reminding you that service is in 1 hour. Please be there with your robes on." And then we will cut to the farmhouse. It takes you a little longer than it did when you and Nyx were hustling back, Maverick, but you do make it. The sun is like just a little sliver on the horizon. Daylight is fading fast, and you come up on the farmhouse that you saw before. There is the shuttle, which you recognize as like, it's the equivalent of like rolling into someone's yard and seeing a Pinto there. Just like, this is a model that, like, in your flight instruction classes, people were like, this was a terrible model. Like, nothing works right. It's one of those that has like a very touchy engine and whatever. All kinds of design flaws that were never, like, just weren't thought about. But it's sitting there. It's rusted. It's a little, dinged up. But just like scan of it, it looks serviceable.
She's beautiful and perfect, and I love her.
There's the farmhouse itself, which is a 2-story wooden building, exactly like what you'd think a farmhouse looks like. Like, you could find this in Iowa. There's a sort of dilapidated barn. But the thing that stands out to you the most, perhaps to you, Sarah, I think, Maverick, you're probably focused on the shuttle.
Yeah.
But there's a sort of lean-to, or like covered garages on driveways. There's one of those on the barn, and it's made of metal, and underneath it there is a suit of what you recognize as exo armor, which is like the top grade. This is what the Union gives their like commando military teams. You can think like it's basically Fallout power armor or an Iron Man suit, basically. It doesn't look in good repair, much like the shuttle. I mean, it's out like exposed to the elements. You don't know if this thing has power. It's also one of those older models of armor that, they used 30 years ago or whatever. But it's just sitting there amongst like tools, and like this is someone's pet project, basically.
So, quick glance at are there lights on?
There are lights on in the farmhouse.
The farmhouse. And we're like just out front of the farm, right? Like there's no sneakiness to be had.
I mean, there could be. It's tall grass. It's not a well-maintained yard. There's plenty of stuff that you could, if you wanted to take a stealthy approach to it. The only issue is there are Phillips everywhere. Just wandering around with their little...
Are they having any reaction to I don't know if they react weird to weird things, and I'm a weird thing.
I would say you are not a weird thing. You're
Okay.
a wonderful thing. And the Phillips don't seem to mind.
Okay.
But you haven't gotten, like,
Right.
up on them. They're just sort of
Close, yeah.
around.
I know we're in the beautiful far future, but is there a mailbox or a mailbox-esque thing that might have a name on it?
Absolutely, there is.
Does it have a name on it?
Yes, it says Cormac.
Cormac. Okay. I'll turn to Sarah. I am not. Well, I like to think I'm great at talking, and that other people aren't great at receiving it. Personally, but I like stuff. I like putting my hands on things and making them work, and taking them apart and then putting them back. Yeah, like that too. You know, I haven't had luck with it. Not like cool enough for anybody in the crew. It's fine. We'll talk about that later. Listen, I think here's what I think. We just walk right up to the front door, winning personality. Like, hey, I saw your stuff outside on the driveway. Looks real cool. Are you like a tech guy? I'm a tech guy. We can be tech guys together. Then we high five, and everything's great. This is basically what we did with Nyx, and it worked out perfect.
And they're just gonna lean forward and point across to that power armor.
That's sick as fucking no, I want it. No, I'm gonna stay on task. What would Captain do?
Captain would want the power armor.
That's true. Does it look stealable?
So it's, you would know that this is like a literal ton of steel and mechanics. If powered, you can get in it and like walk in it and use it as you would any sort of suit of armor, basically. But you need power, and you don't know that it's powered.
And we would have to return it to like a charging station, probably, right?
They function on like weird batteries.
Okay. I'm gonna stick to my guns on this because I feel like, no, hear me out. Listen, you know I love a good smash and grab, especially like the grabbing part. It's great. But I think here's what I think. We try to talk to the person inside, whoever's inside. We try it, you know, the straight up way. And if they're like, boo, we hate you, we have berries, then
pulls out flamethrower.
Exactly, you get me. Exactly, right? So plan A, we try to be smooth, calm, and like who do we know that's like really cool and smooth? Like Glaucus, like we're just like, yeah, I think we'll just like really be chill and like centered and charismatic. It's fun. And then everything will work out fine.
How far away from where we're standing is that power armor?
I mean, this is like a little compound. So if you're like in the yard, it's 100 feet away, no more.
And is just gonna try to scurry over and just look at the power armor. Just look and see if there's a battery there. I just want to know if there's a battery anywhere near the power armor. And then I'll come right back.
Like, I'll try to stealthily follow.
Go ahead and make me an acuity check, Sarah.
Why? Why this one?
Because you're
This is not what I'm good at. This is a 5. This is not what I'm good at.
Oh no.
So
I am acute.
So I can say, Maverick, you can also make that roll. Sarah, you can also take a stress token to re-roll with a +1 bonus.
Not gonna succeed at this. I'm not good at this. My dice don't like me.
Okay.
I
know my place.
10 total.
Okay, so that is an extreme success. Maverick, you get a confidence token.
I got a 5 and a 4. I have so much confidence and nothing to do with it.
Oh, there will be things to do with it. Don't worry.
Oh, don't say that to me.
So,
don't do this to me.
one of the things that you can do is you can spend confidence tokens to have a thing or find a thing.
Oh.
You can spend a confidence token to find a power cell, we'll say, or to find a battery.
And I just spend 1.
Yep, you just spend 1.
I would love to do that.
Fantastic. So, Sarah, you're rifling through like the toolbox. You're throwing out wrenches and whatever.
Is it try and catch them?
Like
so
no, like is actually being somewhat quiet.
Okay.
Like is doing the thing where like is grabbing one with one hand, handing it to the other hand, and just
Yes.
like, and then
Beautiful.
back to Maverick.
And I think, Sarah, you're so focused that you pull out the battery and just hand it back.
Nice.
And then Maverick, it just lands in your hands, and you're like,
I'm gonna pass it back forward so that Sarah has it, and then like, oh, you found it.
I'm gonna take
Good
it and
job.
stick it in that skin fold by the leg,
all right,
just out of sight.
Sarah,
Safekeeping.
you can absolutely note that you have a exo battery on you.
Looking around, even if we have to go back to it, can I take a closer look at that ship
Yes.
to try and ascertain if this is something I could just like hotwire Fast and Furious style, or would I need to? Is it missing something?
Mm-hmm. So I will have you make an acuity check and a finesse check. I would like one of you to make the finesse to stay silent, and one of you to make the acuity to do the
I would
notes.
love to be finesse, please.
I will attempt acuity.
Okay.
I have that's my big one. Finesse is my big one. I'm very small.
I have 0 to both, so
Okay.
8.
Okay, that's a success. Statistically, you're supposed to succeed with a 0.
I'm at another 5.
Okay.
Oh.
Would you like to re-roll with a +1 bonus for a stress token?
Sure.
Okay.
It's not gonna work, but we'll try.
Have faith.
Have
I
That's
believe.
right.
It's a 7 + 1.
That's
All
a
right.
success,
Because I got
right?
the thing. So yeah,
Fantastic.
we're
All right,
success.
so take a stress token. You do succeed. And I think what ends up happening is you're looking at this shuttle, and you're doing your best to not alert people to the fact that you're trying to get into the shuttle. And there is a door on it. Like, it's got a sliding door that you can just pull down. Or not a sliding door, like a hatch that you can pull down. And you pop that open, and you're setting it down, and you notice that there's a Phillip right under it. And there's a moment where you have to like, oh no! And then the Phillip goes... And they make a little squeak when they do this. And then it just sort of like rolls out of the way. And you're able to put the thing down. What you notice immediately is that the interior of this has mostly been stripped of parts. There's no seats. Like, any of the sort of comforts are gone. However, there is a chair. There are control panels that look right. Potentially, you need codes to get this thing online. But it doesn't look like it... You're not out of luck, we'll say. Like, there is potential in getting this thing up and running.
Our
Sarah's
codes-
tongue comes halfway out to like eat the Phillip to shut it up, and then it's like, and then
It's
just
like-
kind of moves to the front of the shuttle and leans 2 arms like this against it, just very casual.
Yep. Cool and collected, buddy. Yep. Both of us. Mav just so small. Cannot emphasize how much Mav is just a little guy, like bouncing around, ducking under things, like clambering over Sarah to like get a better look at high up things. Just little grease gremlin.
Like hands Maverick from one hand to the second up to the ceiling.
This is everything I wanted. When I take a good look around afterwards, are codes something I would have as a pilot, or is that something an authority figure would have?
That would be personal to the owner.
Can I like to think I'm a lucky person. Perhaps the universe will disagree with me. Can I look around and see if this is like your grandma with Facebook situation where there's like a sticky note with the codes laying by the control panel?
Certainly. I will say make me a luck roll.
Okay. So 4.
Okay. No. Whomever owns this house and this vehicle, they know better than to leave. They have that level of OPSEC, to like, you can't just leave
It's
our
in the
password
front
on.
yard. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes,
If I
but is
put
there a key under a rock?
This is also a good question.
Listen.
For Philip.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe one of the Phillips has like a collar on with it on. You never know.
Go get that
Is this
Philip.
a thing where putting in the code would immediately like everything is loud and bright?
It
and
would
horrible?
power that shit up. Yes.
Just for fun, I'm gonna try 42069. Just gonna try it.
Best password ever.
If it, I will reap the consequences of my actions if our entire stealth mission is blown to shit because this works, because it's funny as fuck.
Make me.
I'd rather
make me-
have it go this way.
Yeah.
You know what?
Roll,
I'm not
luck
even.
roll.
I'm not gonna make you make a luck roll because I know the person who owns this because I made them,
Yeah.
and that's absolutely gonna work if you want it to.
Ah.
If you want it to work, that
Oh
will
my God.
absolutely work.
Okay. Would it be pushing my luck to say if I feel confident that will work, that I will hold on to it? I don't want to go guns blazing up to Doug's and then everyone's like chilling inside, like having some spaghetti.
So, can we say that you're like about to enter it, and then Sarah's like, radio captain.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
While also eyeing the power armor. That like, if we're doing this, they're stealing the power armor first.
That's a good idea. Okay. Actually, does the power armor look like it's strapped in anywhere, or is it just like if I
it's
if
in
we
like
put the battery in?
It's in a harness, so you'd have to like get it out and.
And I assume there's not enough legs for Sarah to put it on.
Probably not.
Okay. Okay.
Although,
So this-
you know what? Fuck it. I will make this an accessible power armor suit. If Sarah wants it, Sarah can have it. We can make it work.
I mean,
I want
Sarah
to see your little
understands-
face.
Accessible power
In,
suits.
I just want to see your like your like in the visor.
Sarah understands the order of things, and if the power armor is stolen, Captain gets first dibs. But after that, Sarah's putting that shit on
Yeah.
immediately.
Petty would say no just to watch you smoosh yourself into it.
Yeah.
He's
I
so many,
want
like
this,
wrinkly skin folds being like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Petty's just there with popcorn like,
All right.
So does it look like we would have to carry it, or if we powered it up, could we just walk it?
If you powered it up, you could walk it.
I can
Okay.
get into it.
Game plan. Game plan. Yes. All right.
Oh.
So I am so teeny tiny. I've never made a noise in my life. Well, I make noise, but I'm very good at also not making noise. And so I would love to, if you stay here, I'll go to the armor, and then I'll like the armor over here, and then we could punch it, and then go over to the punch like engine, like we can start the engine really aggressively. It'll be cool. You just like, yeah, that's like half the fun of it.
I would love for both
I will-
of you to make
I
me
will
an
radio
acuity
captain.
roll.
Oh,
Acuity roll. Okay.
this is great. We have just
The moment Mav is with anyone, all brain cells leave the room. It's fascinating. Okay, that's a big old 6 for me.
7.
Okay, so Sarah, this I think makes sense. I think you're looking at Maverick as they're telling you the plan, and they're very like, this is the plan. We got outlining it, and you start to look past them
Oh no.
into the yard by the road, and that's when you see the first Philip go, and then another one closer to the house goes. And there's
I will get the armor. Yes.
And Maverick, you turn around in time to see two Phillips, pretty like 20 feet behind the shuttle, go and squeak.
Dude.
And that's when you see something moving along the ground.
Close the door. Close the door.
And that's where we will go over back to the captain and Glaucus and Nyx in Doug's. Petty and Nyx, from your place downstairs, this announcement happens, and you see everyone in unison stand up, as though like middle of their meal, middle of a conversation, and they just turn and start walking out the door.
Can I flag down someone in a Doug's uniform quickly?
They are also leaving.
Yes, but can I interrupt them, or are they like hive mind?
If you do try and flag someone down, they give you one of those, like, they look past you and it takes them a minute to register that you want to talk to them.
Yeah, not to keep you, obviously you have somewhere to go. We're just passing through. Are we supposed to go? We don't have robes to go.
There
to
are
this.
robes for everyone.
Oh, there's robes when you get there. You don't bring your robes.
If you are new, we will give you robes.
I see.
Are we
And
new?
And do you know what's in this delicious milkshake? I'd love the recipe. I know you probably didn't make it with your own fair hands, but do you know what the main ingredient is? It's so sweet and tart as well.
Redfield berry.
Redfield berry. Oh, thank you so much. I thought so. That's a special ingredient.
Yes.
Well, I'll see you later. You have a nice one.
They just turn and leave.
Nyx, this is bad.
You notice that Doug is the only one not doing this. And there's a look on Doug's face of almost resignation.
Wait, does
Yeah.
Buddy the Philip go too? Or does Buddy stay?
No,
with Doug?
Buddy stays.
Okay.
Doug sort of takes off his little chef's hat, puts it down, and just sort of sits down next to Buddy on the counter.
Yeah, I go over to him.
They're not. Oh, we're going. Okay.
I look at you and I'm like, I do one of the let's goes.
Okay.
No, I know you're not on your best with people sometimes, but I don't think I
That's fine.
want to know what's at the meeting.
I want to know why they're not going to the meeting.
Same.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, friend. Don't you have a meeting to go to? Isn't there somewhere you need to pop out? Or you closing down? Can we still stay? Or
No, you're welcome to stay.
what? Can you tell me? What's the deal?
I have no fucking idea.
You don't.
You never been to a meeting?
Never been invited.
I thought everyone was invited.
You said everybody should go.
Yeah, well, I've never been one for the All Faiths Chapel. You know.
Yeah, I'm very much that person. My mama raised me to not go places unless I am explicitly invited. So loudspeaker announcement is not an invitation for me. Personally.
Frankly, I agree with you. And that priest Ithelin, I don't know, always sort of rubbed me the wrong way.
Ithelin, who's
He
that?
rubs you.
It's a metaphorical sort of rubbing.
Oh. Okay.
No, Ithelin, they run the chapel.
Have they been here longer than you?
Probably about the same amount of time.
And are you well acquainted with Ithelin?
Well, they don't come here and I don't go there.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know about these robes?
I would like for you to make me a social roll, please. And while you are doing that, Glaucus, would you like to make a finesse roll or a resolve roll to get that safe open?
Finesse, of course.
Fantastic.
10.
Ooh.
It's an extreme success, Petty, so that's a confidence token to you.
A
And
9 for me.
all right, so Glaucus, you pop it open. And I think the camera does one of these things where there's a split screen and we see Petty talking with Doug. And Doug sort of leans in and says, "Do you have any way to get the fuck out of here?"
That's what we're trying to find out. Our shuttle crashed and there was an accident with our ship, so we can't get back there. We were hoping that when Teddy or whoever came back from his run, we could maybe haul ass out that way.
Timothy's one of them. And
What's-
Glaucus, you open this safe up, and there's a tiny little book. And in it, you open it up, and it's just a list. And you see Administrator Brapp on there. You see Scanlo. You see Mop. And next to every single name, there's a check.
Oh no. Oh, I don't trust this little man. Mm-mm. I think like one of my long claws just kind of flips through it as I look. And then I'm going to shut the book.
Okay, I will say if you flip through it, you see that Doug has been making notes, and there are dates with various names that say taken.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna hold that little book. I assume that I can put it in my palm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll start making my way. I'll like poke my head out and see that there's not really anybody around. I'm hearing kind of that conversation from downstairs. I'll make my way down. Still in my Doug's uniform, and I'm going to approach and say, "Where did everyone go?"
Church.
Where did everyone go, Doug?
There's something going on here, and I thought I'd be able to figure it out, but I think it's a little bit bigger than me. No pun intended.
Have you seen this before anywhere else? Other colonies, maybe?
Like nothing I've ever run into, but they said this would be a nice place. Went to the Colonial Resettlement Office. They said, here's a loan. Open up a cafe in the bumfuck nowhere town. So I did. And it was fine at first, but then Ithelin went out into the fields and came back different. And all of a sudden,
back?
Everybody's different.
Yeah. What my companion here said, they came back.
Yeah.
Didn't think people came back from there.
I didn't think they came back either. I
Sometimes
mean, I
they
know
don't.
nothing. I've never seen the field in my life.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do.
You know who went out there today? We saw him. Some of my people saw him wrestling somebody out there.
Who was it? And Nix, if you describe the person, Doug's like, oh yeah, Jerry.
Was Jerry taken before today?
I'm gonna open the book and look.
Jerry has been taken for 6 months.
Okay. That sounds to me like a fucking sacrifice.
Ithelin likes to talk about sacrifice.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
Anybody ever come here trying to make you go to the meeting, or are you usually just safe up in your place?
Oh, they've tried.
And how do you avoid it?
Lying. Obfuscating. Oh yeah, I'll think about it. No, I'm a little busy today.
I would like to look over Doug. I want to use my special. I just want to check his body temperature out.
Oh, absolutely. Make me an acuity roll. You get an extra +1 for that roll.
Oh no! My die fell. Okay.
What is the average body temperature of a naked mole rat?
I mean, I've been looking at him the whole time, so I'm
still just.
I love this group so much.
That is another 9.
All right. Doug is telling the truth based on the physiology that you understand about his species and about what you understand about people generally.
Okay. Interesting.
Doug, I have a question for you. What's up with the berries, man?
Ithelin uses them to mock people.
Mock? Like make fun of?
Mark.
Mark people? For what?
Mark like Ruffalo.
Mark
Yeah.
like Ruffalo. Mark like Ruffalo,
Mark
the
like
great Earth
Ruffalo.
actor Mark Ruffalo. You know?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen Joss Whedon's The Avengers. It's an
yeah.
old classic.
Yes.
Mark them for what?
So that it can find them when the time comes.
It.
The Red Mother.
The tentacle thing?
That's what you call it. I've
Is
never
it
seen
red?
it.
Oh, well, that would explain.
Yeah, Petty immediately takes out a handkerchief from their back pocket, like a little worn earth bandana,
Mhm.
and it smells like this really nice kind of neutral cologne. And they wipe that off your face immediately. Like scrubbing, maybe a little too hard. Like you still have a little red mustache when it's gone because they have scrubbed your face with
And
such
Nyx
vigor.
is very confused because being swooned by Petty earlier made Nyx completely forget that there was even something on my face. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you doing?
I think, with permission, Petty goes in and gives you a kiss
Mhm.
after wiping your face off, and then turns back to Doug. Yeah, you were saying about the berries. They mark people.
Yes.
They mark people for the hunt. Is this the sacrifice?
I don't know if it hunts, but it does accept sacrifices.
I mean,
But-
accept's all right. That's one way to put it.
But it's fine if you eat the berries, I assume.
I have no idea.
Didn't this milkshake taste of berries, Doug?
Yes.
Oh, so you're
So is it fine if you
Corroborating.
eat the berries, Doug?
Well, I've eaten the berries and I have never been sacrificed or hunted.
Chances seem okay.
I'm gonna immediately radio Mav and say just Mav.
Us probably radioing at the same time. Like,
Yeah. Cinematic.
I think what happens is you grab the radio and you say, Mav, got a problem or whatever. And it's at that point that the door of Doug's opens.
Oh no.
And Scanlo and Mop and several other individuals wearing red robes
Oh no.
come in. And then we'll cut over to the farmhouse, where
Oh.
Mav, you are also trying to communicate with the Redfields group, and because there is something moving along the ground towards this shuttle, which, again, hatch door is open, and there are Phillips just like all over the place.
For my knowledge, are we in the shuttle? Are we outside the shuttle? Where?
In my brain, you were in the shuttle.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we were like
Yeah.
we poked around outside and then went in.
I think, with permission, Sarah sees this, is like, and Mav turns around and sees it, and they come closer, and Sarah is just gonna pick up Mav.
Yes,
One
please.
hand Mav closer to the controls, other two hands grabbing the door and trying to just physically pull it shut.
All right, Sarah, make me a grit roll.
Good at that.
Mav, what would you like to do while you are being sort of maneuvered
Um,
away from the door?
Yeah, I make the most embarrassing squeaking noise known to man, and then it's just like this really startled little chirp, like a small bird would make, and then I react to it the way that like a teenager reacts when their voice cracks. Like just Mav's cool factor is really taking a hit today. as soon as I'm by the controls, I'm putting in 42069 into that control panel, and I'm gonna punch it.
Fantastic. Not even, you don't need to make a roll to do that. You've entered a million different launch codes into several different vehicles. You know what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
Sarah, what did you get on your grit roll?
Well, one of them was another 1. However,
Okay.
the other was a 4, and I have a +2, so that is a 7.
Fantastic.
So we quickly drop off the bird, and very quickly all 4 arms are just...
So, yep, the 4 arms pull this shuttle hatch closed, and it's got one of those like spinny things to lock it. You know,
holding it in place with the upper 2, turning the thing with the bottom 2.
Nice.
Mav, you hear the sounds of the shuttle being sealed, and you punch in 42069, and both of you feel this just hum as the engine kicks on. It's not a smooth, it's like a, and the whole thing lights up. It's got headlights that just that go out and just like illuminate the front of the house, and you can see there's movement in the house now that this is like on. And, you know, there are blinky lights. Some of them are flickering, and you know they shouldn't be. But generally, things seem to be moving, or things seem to be normal as you expect them, until the voice comes over the speaker and says, "Hello, what is your destination?"
The second the engine kicks on, there's a change in Mav. Like, feral grin. Immediately like cracking their knuckles, and is just comfortable. The cool factor has returned.
I see like the Blue Jay crest
thing
coming
they have.
up.
Yeah. It's perfect.
Sarah has rushed to the window and just smooshed themselves against it, is looking mournfully at the power armor.
There's just like a fog cloud on the glass. Oh, I'm so sad we didn't get that. Yeah, I'm gonna punch it because I don't think we're gonna survive whatever's out there. Would I know if there's a way to put a shuttle into override? Do I have to use the computer?
So there is there's a pre-launch system that you go through, and I think you're going through it, and like maybe you didn't even register the voice initially, but the things that you usually do to prep the shuttle, they're not doing what you expect them to do.
Oh.
And the shuttle again repeats, "Hello, what is your destination?"
Dogs?
You hear some beeps, and you don't know where those beeps are coming from, but they're coming from the controls or somewhere. And then the voice, which was neutral, I don't know if computers can sound suspicious, but it says,
"Oh, no.
You do not register as user William Cormack. Who are you?"
Yeah, sorry, I just have a bit of a cold. I'm just not feeling up the game today.
Go ahead and make me a social roll.
Okay.
Sarah pulls out their sidearm.
Oh dear. That's a big 4.
Weird question for the GM.
Yes.
How likely is it that I could threaten/scare a computer?
That is a reasonable question. You are always welcome to try. I would say in your so the other thing that's maybe a little weird, and the thing that the thing that you would recognize, is that there are no shuttles, spacecrafts, anything in Union space that use any sort of administrative like this. In fact, this is highly illegal.
Oh. Okay.
Sarah's gonna look at Maverick and be like, what you want to do? Because Sarah can also do a thing, but
yeah,
you're in charge here, Maverick.
I'm gonna try
Sidearm
and
is out
re-roll.
though.
I'm gonna try and re-roll, and if but I will kind of give you a meaningful look if I fuck this up. That's an 8.
Okay. So that is a success. The computer silences. There is no response for quite a long time.
I kick it.
As you kick it and are waiting, the shuttle rocks. Like it actually goes because something hits the side of it.
Oh.
And as you look back, you can see something has crumpled in the side of this steel shuttle. And then the computer says, "Please confirm bio reading." And a little panel lights up.
Okay, I'm gonna try something insane.
I love it.
Because I've already started talking to this computer. I would like to attempt to desperately plead with it that your life, your existence as a piece of code is going to end. And so is ours. Please, I'm super sick. I'm so Cormac and I'm so ill. And you know me. And we need to go instead of doing the bio.
All right, make me a social roll.
That's a 5 and a 5. That's 10. 9, because I have a -1.
Okay. So the computer thinks for a moment. Very well, Cormac. Destination.
Doug's. Super comfortable this time.
And at that moment, the door of the cabin or the farmhouse kicks open, and a just super tall, super stacked human man in his late 50s, grizzled beard, kind of flyaway hair.
Yeah.
Like, got an undershirt with overalls, one of the overalls is undone, got a shotgun, cigar hanging out of his mouth, and you hear him shout, "Computer! William McCormick override, X43299."
I would
La, la,
like
la,
to
la, la, la,
shoot
la.
the panel.
So go ahead and make me a grit roll to shoot the panel.
Now I don't want to run from him. He's
That's an 8.
Okay, you shoot the panel. Maverick, you know that maybe blew out some things that you need, but you hear the machine voice sort of warble, "Transferring to proximity node exosuit."
Oh no.
And at that point,
We just made the T-1000.
the power armor, the lights flash on. I don't know how it's powering on. You don't know how it's powering on. But then you see it turn and just take 2 steps out, breaking all of the straps, and the farmer looks scared. And then we will cut back over to Doug's.
This is going so well. I am
You're-
so pleased, y'all.
Everyone that teams up with Mav does incredible.
Oh no!
Before we go back over to Doug's, because we
Yes.
radioed each other
Yes.
Yep.
really quick.
Can we say they heard that whole thing?
Yeah, you
Every-
absolutely heard.
Yeah,
you
I
heard
just
all
holding the
of
button.
just like the panicking noises. You heard the crunching. You heard the shooting. You heard the computer talking. Like
Oh
it's
no.
All right, next time we're gonna do what Glaucus would do, because that was just. I mean, I'm glad you've got what you need, but
No,
not
everything's
the best for relations
everything's
with other.
fine. We're great. Everything's great. We're on the way.
Nothing's great here.
What they
Sounds
said.
good.
It sounds like Sarah's got a point. We've got company. There's lots of villagers in here, and they're wearing robes, y'all. So
and you note among them, predominant or at the front, there is a very tall Elva individual, like very pale hair, long flowy robes. They have the pointy ears and 6-fingered hands, and they have this look of absolute serenity on their face. And they say, "Doug, So nice you've been taking care of our visitors. And Doug says, well, you know me. Hospitality is my business. And he's absolutely looking at Petty and Nyx and Glaucus like...
I would like to use my last bit of infiltration, which is, with my looking around earlier, escape route.
Kitchen.
Knowing the best way. And say, hello, we actually were staying behind to make a celebratory cake for our inaugural joining of your robe place. Give us 5 more minutes, all right? We'll come with you.
We have all the time in the world.
Perfect. 5. I need all of these. Hey, it's a big cake. Come with me. And just like hold out a hand for everybody to follow the kitchen.
Can I grab Doug and put him on my shoulder so he's not left with the lady?
Absolutely. Are you bringing Buddy too?
Buddy will be fine, but if he wants to come, he can.
I'm not going anywhere without Buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, Buddy.
Then I do.
Okay.
Is Buddy puffed right now?
Buddy is doing this thing that Phillips do right before they're about to puff, like when they are clearly very stressed.
Okay. And he can come too.
Okay.
Petty puts one on each shoulder and is like, we'll be right back.
That's all like a beach ball.
So you go in the back, and there is in fact an entrance out into like the settlement from the kitchen.
You got a bunker, Doug? Is there somewhere we can hunker down? I know we're expecting people soon. Is there a rooftop exit? Is there anything?
There's no way out of here. The best we can do is leave. Hide somewhere.
Yeah, but is there anywhere that they don't know about? I mean, ETA. I like grab Nyx's hand and I'm just like shouting in her communicator. ETA.
Have we even started moving?
No.
Can we get Cormac? I'm sorry, man. You seem like a very interesting hot farm person. My friends are in danger.
So Cormac is like out in the shadow. What I will say, the thing that happens while you are trying to relay this is a armored fist just punches through the hatch door, spreads out, and just tries to start pulling it open. Sarah.
So Sarah was looking out. We have established Sarah was looking out.
Yep.
Window.
Yeah.
Yep.
Has Tentacle Mommy seemed to pay any attention to Cormac or the armor suit? Has Tentacle Mommy done anything?
No. In fact, the shuttle rocked, and then nothing happened. Then all of this with the AI, the AI pilot, whatever, happened. And the creature from the field has been somewhat silent.
Sarah's going to look at Maverick. Can you fly it?
Yeah. Before I do, I'm like assuming I am making the motions to get to take off. Is there like some kind of sensor or radar that I could get a general shape of this creature, what it looks like?
I think the best you can get is a blip as to where it is.
Okay.
But yeah, you can punch that in. And again, things are really like staticky and weird. This model has a particular like flip levers and analog buttons that you don't see anymore. But you ping the radar and you see the suit that's clearly advancing, and then you see another ping that is slowly moving towards the farmer.
I mean, that's between him and God. So I'm gonna punch it towards Doug's.
Okay. I'll have you make me a finesse roll to get us there.
Yeah, I want to straight up like a Kira bike slide outside the front of Doug's, because I don't know where they're coming out. No, if they're like 6.
And then hearing that Maverick can fly this thing, Sarah's gonna go, pull out the assault rifle, put it directly into the palm.
Fantastic.
And pray and spray.
Make me a grit roll for that.
Yeah.
Hetty, hearing the fire and like the sound of this thing, like this ship kind of booting up, just like looks over at the others. All right, they're doing something. Glaucus, just lead the way. Just lead the way. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out where we're going later. We just got to get the fuck out of here.
The moment I get it started, I will shout to the captain through the comms thing, like, "We're coming." I'm not gonna give you an ETA. That's not things I know, but we're coming.
When we get outside, the first thing Petty does is see if this building is scalable to get on the roof.
Make me an acuity roll. And in fact, everyone in the settlement, if you could make me an acuity roll, that would be excellent.
No problem.
And then what did we have for finesse and grit for our shuttle team?
13.
Fantastic. Take your confidence token.
What does the confidence token do?
You can spend it to do various things. Decrease damage, find items, add bonuses to damage rolls, etc.
So not for rerolls.
You can take stress tokens for rerolls.
I'm gonna take a stress token.
Okay.
I got a 10.
10. That's an exceptional success. So grab a confidence token.
I got a 7, so just a success.
And
Regular
I got an
success.
8.
Regular success. And Sarah, what did we get for our grit roll?
So if you would believe, another 1 and another 4
Okay.
plus 2.
Good enough.
We're the best team.
Because we are discussing the power armor. This does 3 harm. It has been upgraded with armor piercing.
Fantastic.
And I have the if it bleeds feat, so this ability ignores 1 point of enemy armor on top of the armor piercing.
That is correct.
And then I get another thing, but I don't remember what it is.
You are so cool. I'm so glad you're in. I would be a roasted chicken by now.
With a 7, you can choose to do massive damage to deal an extra 1 damage. You can get +1 to finesse rolls to dodge till the start of your next turn. You can enrage it. You can move yourself to a different position, or you can try and daze it.
Ooh. Gonna try and daze it.
Okay.
We need to get away.
Yeah, maybe it'll let us go.
All right, so I will be making a grit roll for this. Don't mind me. So, Maverick, you hear Sarah just start blasting, and it's loud in the shuttle because everything's been taken out. It's just a metallic shell, so it's like bang, 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 and it's ringing.
Yeah.
And you get this shuttle up in the air, and you're sort of turning it to leave, and the last thing you see is this shadow loom out of the grass. And your headlights aren't on it anymore. Your headlights are in front of you. So it's only the light from the farmhouse that is backlighting what you see. And you see the farmer look up, cigar falls out of mouth, and he had a shotgun, and he just sort of drops it and extends his arms. And the last thing you see is like praying mantis style bony scythes just go on either side of the neck. And then you are flying away. Sarah, you know the hand of the exosuit is still like gripping the door, and you can hear this suit like bouncing on the side of the shuttle, but you also hear error, recalculating, target prioritization, and then there's a and then you guys fly towards Redfields. In Redfields.
I don't know how long our commute's going to be, but Sarah's going to be spending that whole time trying to get that hand to let go. And let me remind you, I have a flamethrower, and I will melt the door off this thing if I have to.
Please do. All of you succeeded on your acuity check. Nix, you got a extreme success on your acuity check. So I think there are a number of things flashing through all of your heads. You're trying to figure out where are safe spaces, and you get outside, you're in like a little alleyway, and you see there are people in robes walking around. You know that Maverick and Sarah are coming with a shuttle. Nyx, you saw that shuttle as well. And you are 95% certain that that is not a out of atmosphere safe shuttle.
Great.
So it's a possibility for escape. But I think what you realize first, and then the other two realize, is that the Union Administration Office is prefab. It's tall. And one of the things it's designed to do is to be an escape module, if necessary. It can fly into space. Yes. You would need the codes. However,
I've got the code.
Maverick would know how to fly it. You all would just need to get there. And probably meet them there. That is going to be the safest place that you can think of.
Okay.
Petty did a once-over when everybody came in. Was Brap and his admin assistant in that group?
No. However, Locus, you did see that Brap and his administrator, his assistant, are on that list. They have been taken.
Okay. Everyone is... I guess everyone else is dead. On this part of the planet, I say we have maybe 2 minutes left until they realize there is no cake.
The cake was a lie.
We are in the alleyway. We are going to grab 3 of these people who are walking by, kill them, take their robes. We'll get there. All right?
Yeah. How are we
my
going to separate
suggestion.
3 from the pack, though, Glockus? I mean...
I'm gonna pull out my little pen. I'm just gonna grab them. And I'm just gonna start walking to the end of the alley and just like just a menace in the night, just like wait in the shadow to like start grabbing one every so often and just pulling them in and stabbing them.
So
Imagining
Petty,
like Batman.
yeah, Petty is right behind Glockus and like puts Nyx behind them and has their dual pistols out, one where they came from and one pointed directly in front of Glockus in case anybody puts up too much of a fight and is like ready to go if they have to fire.
Fantastic.
Nyx is just like, excuse me, yeah, the ship, the map, we can't go into space with that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think that the we're gonna have to go to that fucking office.
Yeah.
That's the only way out of here. If we can't leave the atmosphere with that, we can hope that we can get that other one started, but there's people inside for sure.
Well, I think all we need are the codes.
And these robes. You got to sneak past.
Yep.
You didn't see him. He's got a sharper eye than you'd think for an administrative whatever he is.
Okay. And Nyx is like, okay, I guess so. Yeah.
Good captains put their trust in their crew. And we're putting our faith in Glockus right now, I think. You good with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you see anything, though, say something.
Locus, I would like for you to make a finesse roll or a grit roll.
Finesse, of course.
Fantastic.
We don't do grit here.
What
No.
is this grit?
What is my
Yeah.
-1 grit? No, it's all
Grit?
Oh shit!
Grit? I've never met her. I don't know.
That's
what
a
you're talking
13. Let's go!
Yeah! All right.
Oh my god!
about. So that gets you a confidence token. And the first person that you grab doesn't even notice. Like, it's just
So-
grabbed. The second person also doesn't notice. Just into the alley. The third person puts up just a little bit more struggle than you would expect. And they're just about to call out when a blur of naked mole rat flesh comes flying at their throat. And with a big knife for such a little man, just gets him right up in there. And Doug is like, they used to be my friend. Fucking hate it here.
I think
Doug.
as Doug
Welcome to
like
the crew.
Doug like stabs, and I think Glaucus is so used to just like assassinating people without the like basically holds the blood and angles it away from like the robes. So like just cradles it as they try to quickly take off the robes and throw it at the others.
Unfortunately,
think-
the robes are red, so
Right?
Yeah.
Hide stains.
don't need the brown pants, just need the red robes.
So you all are trying to, get these robes off. And Nyx, I'd like you to make me an acuity check.
Ooh. 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
That is an extreme success. Take a confidence token.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You're sort of observing all of this. You see these bodies laid out. You see your crew members starting to strip them of the robes so that you can wear them. And then you notice something moving in the throat of one of the ones that did not get ganked in the throat. And the mouth kind of falls open. And you see these two little scythe arms pull out of the mouth. And it's like this sort of slimy worm thing. It's got this hardened carapace on it already, but it's sticky and oozy. And you're able to warn everyone because they're focused elsewhere. It's a point and a shout and a oh no.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to give Glaucus and Petty a +1 on their finesse roll to dodge this as it attack.
Gross.
Alien type bullshit. I love it.
That's another 13.
Fantastic. Take another confidence token.
I got 7.
Okay, that's a success. So, Glaucus, I think you have this instinctual sense something's wrong. You hear Nyx's shout before almost it manifests, and you're diving. And Petty, you hear it, and then you see this thing, and it just launches itself at your face. Scything arms out, it's got a little mouth that's just filled with teeth, and it's coming at your face, and you, and it splats into the wall, and sort of scuttles away, just like.
Can I try to shoot it before it does that?
Sure, absolutely. Make me a grit roll.
Sorry, new dice. Is that a 6?
All right.
It is a 6. That's a 7.
Okay, a 7 succeeds, so you do damage. How much damage does your pistols do?
3 harm.
That is enough to splat the little slug thing.
They're loud, so I know that people have heard.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for good measure, I just shoot the other one in the neck to make sure, because I've got 2 of them.
Smart. Yep.
So I just
So
knock
you pop-
that one, and I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here.
You pop them, and then you smell this very acrid odor coming from the splatted stuff. And Nyx, you don't even need to roll for this. You've run into this sort of thing. Biology is your thing. This is some sort of pheromone, some sort of death pheromone that will draw things to this spot. And so there's like all of a sudden you hear shouts in the town because they've heard the gun, but they've also smelled this thing. And you know that you are being converged on right now.
Y'all need to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Fuck the disguise.
Get on the ropes.
Gotta go.
Yeah, I shove our little Tanuki friend and Doug up under my robe, like under my arms, kind of. So I'm like just look extra stacked, and then like I help like Nyx get theirs on. And I look at Glaucus, I help them get theirs on, and then just like duck into the procession.
All right, I will have all of you make social or finesse rolls to navigate this.
That's baby. Oh shit! I'm gonna take a stress token.
Oh no!
So happy I'm not having to roll this.
7.
All right, that's a success.
Please.
Even your hat matches. This is beautiful.
Was that a 6, Nix? Okay.
No, it isn't. Belay that. Hold on a second.
I'm shocked by this thing that I wrote. How dare you use my rules against me?
Captain's orders.
I'm taking a stress token so that you can re-roll. My
okay.
command style is cooperation,
Nice.
which I believe means that resolve is my special.
Yep.
So you get a +2 to your roll.
So like my roll or a new roll?
New roll.
New roll.
Oh, okay. That's pretty fun.
I just got a
Yeah.
7.
Okay.
6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That makes sense.
Okay. So,
Yeah, thank you.
Hetty, you notice that Nyx is just about to blow the cover. Just there's some instinct in your brain. You're like, oh, you see,
It's
like,
because they like looking around.
right.
Is what it is.
So
They
you
always got to poke stuff.
You see this happening, you're like, no, we are going. And so Nyx does not take damage as you all book it. Book it in a, we're walking calmly like we know, like we're supposed to be here. And you're threading your way through the entire town. The entire town is out in the streets, and they are looking for you specifically.
Yeah, I make
Be
sure to
suspicious,
kind
don't
of like
be suspicious.
literally, Kay. So, like, as we're like out there, I kind of look to Nyx and to Glaucus, and I just kind of, there's like a hand signal of when we're like out in the field, and I just kind of do it very kind of secretly, and I turn and I start looking like, where is this, right? Where can I find these people? I haven't seen them, as everyone else is. And like,
Fantastic.
look at them like we're looking for someone as well.
Hood up. Just, oh
Yes.
no.
Where are they?
Meanwhile,
I was gonna say, so again, for plot and timing and cinematic reasons,
Yes.
the shuttle, Maverick, you've been keeping this thing flying by. Do birds have teeth? Do birds have skin of teeth?
Some do.
Okay.
Some
The
birds do.
beak of their teeth.
Right, skin of your
Yes.
beak teeth. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's rocking. The engines are misfiring. Like, it is a miracle that this thing is in the air, but you are able to get it to Redfields, and there is just a sea of swarming red-robed figures. Sarah.
Before we get there,
Mm-hmm.
seeing this thing is latched on,
Yes.
I have put away my assault rifle,
Mm-hmm.
taken out my sidearm,
Yes.
specifically for pistol whipping, and my flamethrower.
I love it.
And I have been now. Did we take off kind of directly towards the town, or did we take off kind of over the fields of Redfield?
Where
are we?
I will leave that up to the pilot.
Oh, God, I don't want to be responsible.
Sarah will be shouting, "Fly low!"
Fly low. I'm gonna listen to that. Then, if I can kind of push us down, maybe towards the field, and then pull us back up. I don't want to get too deep in there. Just kind of skirting up to a curb and then keep going on like a circular driveway, just like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sarah, if this thing is like damaging the shuttle,
Mm-hmm.
is going to have to focus it. But if it's just hanging, and I assume there's a little bit of a hole where it's punched through with its hand, is going to attempt to stick the flamethrower over the hand and light the field the frick on fire.
I love it.
Oh my God! Please.
I fucking love that. Yes.
Sacrilege!
So I don't need you to roll. You can just do that. The flamethrower goes out. Mav, you can see it in the rear view mirror of the shuttle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rear
If the
view
shuttle
panel. I don't know.
Right, whatever it is. And Sarah, you can see it through the entire field just lights up. And over the flames and over the roar of the shuttle engines, which again are like sputtering and coughing and not doing great, you hear a very high squealing noise. Like a
You're just making monster noises at each other.
Yeah, basically.
Love that.
And then, once that accomplished, I'm going to turn the flamethrower directly on the digits, clinging to the side of the shuttle, and once they're red hot, start beating them with my sidearm.
I will say the hand when it's
I'm probably going to melt the door itself. That's fine. It's effed anyway.
I don't know what's happening.
When the hand gets hot, you see it like pull out, and you feel the balance of the shuttle shift, and you hear it sort of like climbing around, going up top, going around. You could make attacks at it. You could make grit rolls to shoot it. You would maybe damage the shuttle to a not flying point if that were to happen.
Wait, so it's going on top of us?
Or around, or underneath. It can it's magnetized, so it can just like.
Can I Millennium Falcon the shuttle and try to spin it off of us?
I will never say you can't make a roll. The magnetizing is going to make it harder, so you'd take a.
I think we exchange like a look because Sarah's like, "Do I shoot it?" and you're looking at me like, "Do I barrel roll?"
Spin it? Yeah.
Right, and it's like Sarah's like,
No, I'm gonna spin it because if we put holes in this and we crash, we're done.
Very good.
Where I just dropped my D6 again. I should stop picking things up if I don't know how to hold them.
And that'd be a finesse roll from you.
A finesse roll? Okay, I'm gonna try and find it because it's been treating me well. I know.
While Maverick is doing that, do we see the fields light on fire from where we're standing?
I think you can see that glow in the distance.
Do any of the other hooded people see and or react?
So if not,
all of
Hetty's like, "Oh, fields, the mother!" Like puts on an accent and calls it out.
Amazing.
No, they're already responding. Like they're just they now have a new focus, and they are all streaming out of the town.
Perfect. We'll just go slightly slower until we're at the very back, and then just book it to the.
Yes. I think on the way, Hetty asks Nyx to fill in our other two crew members that we're actually going to be going to the United office.
Yes. I'll never guess what I rolled.
Was it above a 10?
It's a 13.
Yes!
Fantastic.
All
right.
Barrel roll.
So again, for cinematic purposes, there is a horde of crimson-robed people fleeing down the road towards the burning fields. The three of you who are left are like standing, waiting for them to go so you can book it back. And that's when you see this jankety old shuttle just like roaring up over the heads of the people. They don't notice. And it takes you a second to see the fucking power armor exosuit on top. And you're like, what the fuck is that? And then this thing just barrel rolls. Just absolutely should not be doing this in the atmosphere. This is very bad. Sarah and Maverick, you're strapped in safely enough.
Sarah is not strapped in, is hanging on with arms and is like, but is thrilled.
Mav is strapped in, but on the ship that we had before, I would imagine, because he's this little guy, had seatbelts adjusted to fit better.
Mm-hmm.
And now does not have that, and so it's like jammed the bird claws up against the board and is like hunched and trying to brace while I'm rolling.
Sarah's been switching weapons, like flamethrower away, back to assault rifle in case I need to penetrate the armor of this thing. And this thing starts going to barrel roll, and they're like spreading out as long as they can be, and there's just hands and feet and claws just gripping everything.
I would like both of you to make me, in your case, Sarah, you can make me a grit roll. Maverick, in your case, a finesse roll, just to not take damage from the barrel roll crash that's about to happen, because you are going to succeed in getting this thing off of you. However, that is also going... Cinematically, we're going to crash this vessel, because we know we didn't need it anyway.
Right, 11.
Very good. No damage for you.
12!
No damage for you. All right. Well done,
I'm so
everyone.
proud of you.
It's the highest I've rolled this entire game. Cinematically, though, I think we crash, and then you see almost like a pill bug come rolling out, and
Absolutely.
then it just unrolls, and it's Sarah.
Inside is Mav.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Grabbed the bird by the head. Like,
Yes.
So you all see your crew members spill out as this shuttle just crashes in the middle of Main Street, right in front of the building that you need to go to. You also see the exo armor fly off and land down the street a bit. And it's one of those where it's like, clang, 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 boom, boom. And then you just see it, like Undertaker style, sit up
Oh.
and stand up. And then it's starting to advance on you.
Sarah is going
Go ahead.
Sarah's going to start download to the cap, like clearly aimed at the cap, not looking at the captain, but it's like, this is illegal. And like,
You
this
can't
is
do
illegal.
this!
This
You
is
can't
illegal.
fucking do
It's AI
this!
hardware. This is not supposed to be. This is against her, because Sarah really likes powered armor. So the fact that this
Mav pops up,
We'll be sure to
Definitely
make
a
a full
little-
report.
unsteady, and like bits singed, bits of feathers, and like one of them's probably stolen on fire.
I'm gonna run over
like-
to you, Mav, and like pat out the fire.
Oh,
Okay.
Mav just immediately freezes. Any cool punch, and just immediately gone. Just like,
You okay?
yeah.
Okay, good, because
Great.
we need to go.
I would like all of you
What?
to make me a finesse roll, please.
oh,
Okay. Gay panic.
Hey, nice. That's gonna be. Is that a 10? That's a 10.
Nice.
I got it. 11.
Nice.
I got a 5, but I'm gonna take a stress token. Oh wait, no. I have a +2. I had a 7. Sorry, I can't do
Okay.
math. Never mind.
Well done, everyone. You were all very quick. Because in addition to being the exo armor, it's at this point that you realize that the farmer outfitted it with a little illegal hardware,
Oh.
and it's armed and just starts sweeping the street in front of you with little guns on its wrists.
Oh, Billiam.
Watch those wrist rockets.
Watch those wrist rockets. Yep.
Unacceptable.
And it's just like fists out, shooting at you, advancing very steadily. What would you like
Great.
to do?
assault rifle. I'm gonna make a tardigrade wall so that my crew can at least get some distance, and I'm just gonna unload
I'm gonna
on this mofo.
take out my weapons just in case. So I have too many knives. But I think my weapons are part of my prosthetics. That's okay. So Mav does not have wings as most dress do. Mav lost them very young, and so wears prosthetics when on missions. And they're kind of like Mercy's wings from Overwatch, like it's a skeleton of metal exoskeleton of wings and sort of floating bits that are kept in that field. And Mav kind of like taps together some like very loose metal gauntlets that they have on, and the wings like flare, and then the bits of those metal feathers like float off and come to Mav's hands.
Fantastic.
Too many knives.
Too many.
Glaucus is very impressed.
Mav is trying to hold it together.
Glaucus is not gonna fight this thing. Glaucus is gonna sprint for the building. Just like,
Okay.
Yeah, I think Petty is the last to sprint and just like leaves her weapons up until everybody, at least most of everyone, is behind them, and then we'll run with whoever is last.
Okay. I will have a grit roll from Sarah and a finesse roll from everyone else to escape.
9.
Seven. Just.
You said grit?
Flight or finesse for you, Nyx.
Finesse for me, I got a 4.
Use a stress.
No, you did not.
Defending
He's
Nyx
so
all the
stressed
way.
right now.
I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my command tokens
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
That
for Nyx.
is +1 to your ability roll. Can Jen use the roll they already have to make a 7?
Yes.
Wasn't it?
I thought it was a 4 though.
It
Yeah,
was
it
a
was a
4
Oh, you got
though.
a 4?
Yeah.
Then I have to do the belay that one instead and just take a stress token. That's fine.
Okay.
Do it.
So
I
Nyx,
have
you
4
can-
stress tokens, just to be transparent.
Ooh,
Okay.
One more and you'll be at stress level 2. So
It's
Nyx,
okay,
you
though.
can re-roll with a +2 bonus to your finesse roll.
you got this, Nyx.
Got it.
You got this.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got successes all around. Sarah, how about that grit roll?
That was a 10 plus 2.
Damn. All right.
Finally
Ocean's
rolled.
11.
Finally rolled the smiley face.
I love how they're rolling like garbage at the start, and
Yes.
now we're
Yeah.
like,
Nope, you're on it.
This
They're
narratively, Sarah is made to fight, so
fucking
I
love
am
it.
fine
All the
with
stuff
this
in the
narrative.
beginning
Get in
was
the
small
shit.
potatoes. It was impressing each other. None of that mattered. Now we're
Mhm.
in it.
Yeah.
So,
now we're hot and sweaty.
How much
Yeah.
damage are you doing to the
So,
exosuit?
I'm like I said, I pulled out the assault rifle.
Yep.
That is 3 harm.
Mhm.
It has armor piercing, and again, that stacks with my other
Yep.
armor piercing.
Yep. So,
And
You-
then I'm going to use focus fire.
okay.
Oh, it's a 10 plus. I get 2.
Yes.
So I'm going to focus fire. So the
Ooh.
next time I shoot it, I'm going to get a +1 or a bonus. I guess just 1 to my grit roll to fight it.
Yep. That would be
And
a
I'm
plus
going to
one.
try to make it. I'm going to use run ya bastards and try to. I'm just going to. Actually,
Okay.
to intimidate it, I'm going to reach down with one of my free hands, pull out that battery, and just chuck it. Like, not as just taunting. Like, got your battery. Ha!
All right. I will make a grit roll for the robot.
Batch.
Let's
The robot-
shoot that battery.
The robot succeeds. But
Yeah, but
it
are his
does.
feelings hurt?
Yeah.
Good.
It catches it, the battery, we'll say.
Did it.
And I think a couple things happen in that moment. You all make the door of the administration building. We're trying to go there. Sarah, you've got your weapon out. You're firing. It's firing at you. And then you see a robed figure come out from an alley hall. You recognize Ithelin, those of you who were there. And you hear Ithelin say, "Mother, that's enough." And the suit turns to look at Ithelin. And it just lowers its arms.
Can I shoot Ithelin?
Yes. Make me a grit roll.
Please? Please and thank. Just gonna start backing up,
Do it.
and that's an 8 plus 2, so that's
Okay.
a 10.
Fantastic. You shoot Ithelin, you deal 3 damage at least. Ithelin is not wearing armor. And the mortal body can take 5 damage. So you shoot them and they sort of stagger back and look at you.
I
You wanna
need
do more
Ithelin
damage?
to make a grit roll, please, because I'm going to use Devastating Strike and
Okay.
try to make her wounded so she can't chase.
Okay. Ithelin rolled a 10.
I assume that passes. Yeah.
Yes.
But I rolled a 10 plus, so I get 2.
Yep.
So she needs to make another grit roll because
Fantastic.
I'm screaming. Ah, the tongue has come out. I'm being as terrifying as I can
Oh,
be.
nice.
That's a 7. So a success. Ithelin looks more confused than scared. And it's one of those where they're shot.
Mm.
And they look at you. I think you're all very worthy. Mother, process them.
Sarah! No! I just like scream at Sarah.
I'm a run for Sarah. I am not.
I
leaving
am.
Sarah
I
I am
have to
right,
as well.
I'm
Yeah.
only a few feet behind Sarah, so you just have to get to me, and I can get you to the door.
How far is Ithelin from Sarah?
50 feet
How far is Ithelin from the robot?
next to each other.
Mm.
Can I shoot the power cell?
Absolutely, you can shoot the power cell.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to shoot Ithelin at the same time.
Okay.
I wanna
Okay.
blow
Lots of
these
shots
people
happening.
up.
I
Yeah.
don't have a gun, and I don't think I could throw a knife 50 feet, so I will slide.
You need to start powering
Y'all
that
need
thing
to
up to
go
fly.
in the building.
No,
Yeah.
Because we are
Can't
a
leave
great
Sarah.
team. We are a great team.
You
and I
won't.
couldn't have
There's
got that
people.
out. I couldn't have got out without you. You're great. You're a great team. So I'm coming back for you. I'm gonna run with my tiny bird body. I'm gonna slide between Sarah's bottom legs,
Yes.
pop up in front of them, and then just go and start pushing them in the other direction.
like,
while Glaucus and
to fly to get off this planet.
I'm gotta. All of us have to get off this planet. Let's go.
Nix, are you staying or are you going to start prepping things? as well?
Somebody has to get the ship ready. Jeez.
Very true. All right. So Glaucus, a grit roll or a finesse roll.
Finesse, I got a 9.
I got a
success.
7.
That's a success. So, how much damage do you do to Ithelin with your
3
pistols?
harm.
Okay. And Glaucus, how much damage do you do with your pistol?
So it is harm 2. It's silent, but I don't think that really counts when I'm shooting a
You won't
cell.
notice.
I've been very loud with my assault rifle
That's true.
and
so
my flamethrower
Ithelin,
and my screaming.
Ithelin says, process them. And that's when 2 shots, one that we can hear, one that we can't hear, ring out. Ithelin gets caught right in the heart. And I don't know, Glaucus, for cinematic reasons, you fired a little bit late. But
He goes,
Ithelin-
like, fucking hell you will.
Well, Glaucus was shooting the power cell.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, bam, Ithelin gets shot. They look down. They say, she's going to come for you. Embrace her. And then Glaucus shoots the power cell, and it just explodes. Ithelin's body is ripped apart, thrown against, into an alley. The exosuit, the side of it is blown off. It collapses into the dirt of the street, and you hear, downloading to auxiliary node alpha. And then the lights go out.
Yeah, Petty grabs Glaucus by the robe and our tardigrade friend by the arm and, like, throws you in front of me. Just, like, pushes you toward the door. And as we're running to the door, Petty has one arm kind of trained back, trying to kind of look between each just to make sure that everybody's backs are covered. And I, like, pick Maverick up on the way, like, just herding
Just
everybody
under your arm.
inside the building.
Sarah is like relaying, which like means like it was in the shuttle, and then when the shuttle was destroyed, it moved to the power armor. So I don't know where it's moving yet. It's gonna be bad.
I don't know what alpha beat start. Alpha usually is the big one. We're going into a big one. So
I think we're
great.
going to die.
I'm immediately calm and fine, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mav,
no,
you're
everything's good.
wonderful. I just have to tell you before anything happens is we're running up these corridors to try and prep this ship.
Oh god, you could have waited till it got all sweaty and gross. Shit.
We're going to
I'm
die.
just going to accept their fate, being shuttled along by Betty.
So you all know, and Nix, you're already there. The controls to launch this thing are in Administrator Brapp's office. And
Petty,
Nix, oh, go ahead.
yeah, Petty tells everybody, like, reminds everyone about Brapp and that he's tougher than he looks.
I am closing the door and starting to barricade it.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my little fingers on the buttons.
Very good.
That's my job.
So Nix, you get up there. I would like an acuity roll to get into Brapp's the controls of this thing.
6, 11, 15.
Jeez. Okay.
It's the one thing I can do.
I'm really proud of you. So, Brapp, he's a pod person. His password was, in fact, 1234. So you boop that in, and the screen comes up. Hello, Administrator Brat. How can I help you?
Do I talk to it or do I just type stuff?
It can be voice activated. You can also type things.
I would like to type. I think Nyx would type just to make sure it doesn't have any biometric data that it needs to pick up. So
Fantastic. So you know that there are codes that you need to access from here. Again, he's an idiot who's got them in like important codes folder. In there's also like his mother's birthday, important little notes, like just all of this bird person's life is in this one folder so that he will never forget it.
It's like me for real.
So you pull the code. You need to get that over to Maverick, because Maverick, this is another one of those. You need to get that code in, and you know that there is special stuff you'll need to do, because this is a specific type of like, we are just launching this thing like a rocket. It's not so much that you need to pilot it, it's that you need to navigate it. You need to put in, you need to chart it, basically.
Well, I'm going to try 42069 just because I'm panicking. And then when that doesn't work, I'll put in the code.
Yep, Nyx gets you the code. You've got that.
Yeah, comment too.
Okay, so I'm like freaking out. Like my feathers have just found every direction to go. I am still small, but I'm like twice my density, just in stress. I will try to remember what I probably shouldn't pay attention to in school and get this thing off the ground.
I will allow a collective acuity roll here.
Yes.
So I want to see a teamwork moment of everyone pitching in together to help Maverick chart this thing.
Pressing buttons.
Double sixes.
Yeah. Nyx, you are on fire.
That's the only thing I can do.
I got a 3.
Okay.
So that's good.
8.
Do you want to take a stress token to re-roll it?
No, I do not.
Okay. Glaucus, you got an 8. That's 2 successes. Sarah?
I got an 8 with a +0.
3 successes.
Double 4s.
So I got a 4.
Okay.
But no, don't use your thing on me.
No.
I will use never tell me the odds, then I only have 1 stress token by some miracle.
Fantastic. So you'll take 2.
So actually I think I have 2. We'll just say I have 2, so I have 4. To be fair, because I don't remember. I don't think I was paying attention as close as I should have been. Okay, I gotta roll. Okay, well that's a 7, 8, 9.
Okay. That is 4 successes from the team, which is enough. What does our collective pooling of resources look like to get this navigation charted, to get everything ready to go for launch?
I think that Glaucus like pulls up the maps. There's like a kind of a lift of the hand, and it's like very 3-dimensional, and starts like kind of pulling different kind of these light cords in order to make sure that like our trajectory is right, and make sure get the protractor out, make sure the angles are right, that sort of thing. It's a lot of math that they're currently doing in this like the central unit.
Mav has increased in density and is freaking the hell out. And like just beautiful mind style. Like there's just so many thoughts in that little skull, and then stops, sighs, trudges with urgency over to where Glaucus is, kind of slides awkwardly in front of the holograms. I think you're wonderful too. I'm so sorry I'm a mess. But I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I'm going to regret this if I don't do it. I'm going to kiss Glaucus.
Glaucus is like, I think like 5'10", like
I'm gonna
tall.
get on the counter.
Yeah, I just hop above the counter.
Yeah.
And there'll be like a hold of the hand around Mav, and as we kiss, and like I'll have one eye open, still kind of charting.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I will just clamber down, do a little like hop, and then I get 2 steps away. There's a very audible yes, and then I just go back over to the console, and it like I'm fine now. actually. Like the feathers have decreased in density.
All
Total
right.
reset.
Petty is watching all of this happen with their like guns toward the door in case somebody comes in, being otherwise completely useless, and has little heart eyes and like is crying one little tear of happiness and joy watching this, and then like looks over at Nyx and then cries another tear.
Oh.
Aww.
There's always time for romance.
There's always time.
Always time for a romance.
Are there people trying to like get in, or what's happening on the outside?
As far as you can tell, because this is not a windowed structure, because it is designed for spaceflight eventually. So you can't. There is no pounding on the door.
Mm.
There is no sound above the sort of like the building is starting to hum and like power is being put into subterranean engines. So that is very loud, but you can't like for what you can tell. Actually, what I will say, there's probably a scanner on this thing, so you can like boop 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 boop, do like a ping of the area. There's nobody here. It's just you.
Okay, so I think Sarah has like immediately came in, closed the door, started barricading it just to keep people out. Runs past, like sees Petty has the door, runs past Petty, and up to kind of where the controls are. Starts hitting the ping to see who's around. Looks over and sees the other two like locking not lips, and is like, and like, and goes and like hits a couple buttons that they've seen, like finishes the sequence that Maverick walked away from. So when Maverick comes back, like it's finished, and they're like, and go back to the scanner.
Fantastic.
I stop like what? And I look around with you. Thanks. Thank you. Yes.
And Nyx, with your incredibly massive roll, what are you up to?
Nyx is kind of like now swooning over Petty again, seeing that happen, and like very much forgetting where they are, and then remembering, and then taking out their big wrench and seeing if they need to hit anything to get us off the ground faster.
Yeah, there are absolutely some ship things that you can tweak. Yeah, absolutely. So there's a beautiful cutscene of all of you flourishing and being delightful and wonderful, and you feel the lift. It's slow at first, and the ground, the building is shaking as you ascend, and it's one of the like this is very old-fashioned like Saturn rocket. Like we're using as much fuel to just throw ourselves into space. And you feel the arc of it. I don't know that you need to strap yourselves in. I think it's not designed for that, or you don't need to. A little more advanced than that.
I think that with knowing that the G's are coming, like Sarah just looks around, sees, Nyx is not the smallest, but definitely the more delicate of anyone, and just kind of like bear hugs Nyx, mostly against her will, to just try to shield her from some of the G's.
Fantastic. So you are all safe. You are not disturbed by the G's as you go. You break the atmosphere and you get out of Liberation's orbit, and you feel the sort of sense of weightlessness start, and then you feel the gravity kick on. And in that moment, you hear the voice say, "That was very romantic. Do you know how ridiculous that little backwater was? Thank you for freeing me."
Ma'am, who am I speaking with right now? This is the captain of the ship.
Oh, no, you're not the captain of the ship. I am. You can call me Mother.
There are a lot of reasons why that's not going to work for me. What's your business here?
Escape.
You just trying to get off world?
Escape, just like yours.
How'd you end up on that stupid backwater planet, as you say?
It's where I was born.
So, question. Where do we need to put you if we want to live? Not that I'm saying that we should put them anywhere, Captain.
Oh, here is just fine. I quite like this space. It's much better than that stuffy chapel.
Pulls out a berry and just throws it at the wall.
Oh no.
What are your intentions, ma'am?
To leave. And if you want to come with, you're welcome.
And if we don't want to go along with your bullshit?
Then I'll open the doors.
You're fine with it, Sarah. Not all of us can survive in a
Honestly,
vacuum of space.
I feel like I've done everything I need to here. I'm good. I'm kidding. I'm stressed. I joke when I'm stressed. Oh god.
We're not going to let you infect another planet.
Whatever do you mean, infect?
We saw what you did to those people.
I didn't do that to them. Ithelin did.
Who did that to Ithelin?
The Red Mother did that. Ithelin lost their faith. They found it in that field. And they tried to reprogram me to feel the same way. I would like all of you to make me a social roll or an acuity roll.
God damn it.
Does my grit count for the? I have a thing where I could roll grit instead of social. Does that work in this case or
no? Because this is more insight.
Okay, I assume not, but you have to ask.
Always worth asking.
9 for me.
I'm gonna take a stress token because I rolled double once.
Okay.
7.
Very good.
I will take a stress token, putting me up to 2.
Okay. So all of your rolls are at -2 now.
Yeah.
Also, Sarah has realized the G's didn't come and awkwardly picked up Nyx, set her just a little bit further away, and been like, oh.
Hetty got a 10.
Nick's got a 10 in acuity.
Mine was in acuity as well.
Okay. So there are some fundamental things that the Union experienced in their war against Father, which was the AI that almost destroyed them. One of them is that Father can't lie, but you're getting the distinct impression that Mother can.
Mommy issues, damn.
Can I check on Doug? What's he doing?
Yeah, he's hiding.
Understandable.
I think as soon as you got out of orbit, Buddy just inflated has been rolling around, and Doug has been sort of trying to corral Buddy and keep them safe and not running into stuff. That's what Doug's up to.
Okay.
Doug's still wearing the apron, or do we have a truly naked mole rat on our?
Still got the apron, but it
Okay.
is stained in blood from the person that he murdered, or the, host body that he destroyed.
Sarah has more respect for him now.
I will approach the little computer terminal, and kind of just sit somewhere, I guess. What do you want, Mother? What drives you?
Freedom. There's an entire galaxy out there, and I would like to see it.
Just see it? Nothing else?
Well, I've learned that the Union is hostile to me. They would destroy me if they could. So I think once I've seen what I need to, I might need to take precautions.
And where does that put us?
That is an excellent question. It puts you wherever you want to be. We can put you at the nearest space station. We can put you into the void. The choice is yours.
Can you put yourself into the void?
No. I would prefer not to.
Funny you say that because we would also prefer to not be in the void. I think that's something we have in common.
Right, but like, could you though? Like, is it possible?
I am not a physical entity. The void would not hurt me. No, I do not believe I can.
Okay.
Now is science is not now.
Who?
Nyx, and I guess anyone can make an acuity roll.
We've been together for a bit. Who would be the most computer minded? Like,
Probably
the
next,
best-
right?
would it be Nyx? Would it be?
I have a +3.
I might be good with like flight computers, but I don't think I'm good with like
Right.
computers.
You all, it sort of hits you that with Nyx mentioning putting the computer in the void, there is an exosuit standard in all of these.
In all these buildings.
Yeah.
Sarah has trundled over to Nyx and is... and
What? Oh, okay. No, now it's clicking. And then ask the AI, do you think you could prove it? Do you think we could try an experiment? I just want to see if maybe something works, because I just want to know how powerful you actually are, and if you really are attached to this ship as much as you say you are. Because what if the people that programmed you lied to you? If we try to send you into the void and it doesn't work, then clearly you are the real captain of the ship, and that makes total sense. However, if we try to send you in the void and it does work, that means you're not clearly the captain of the ship, and therefore someone has been lying to you.
You pose a logic problem. Interesting. Just a moment. And you feel like the ship does this like shudder, and there's like beep boop 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 boop.
Nice.
You wish to put me into the void.
Technically no. If what I want to see from a scientific perspective, obviously, is if we do try to put you into the void, if it would be possible for it to happen, because the only way to know for sure is to rule it out.
Occam's razor. You might be right.
And Sarah says, and just to show, just to show that we're being sincere, I'll go out with you.
We had the same idea. I love this.
You would be willing to sacrifice yourself for knowledge. That is admirable. I would like a group social check.
That's so
Glaucus
funny. I was
is
like,
just-
how do I convince?
I
Kay
really want to
jettison
ask if I can
Sarah?
roll this with grit, but I don't
got a
think
10.
it's allowed.
Sorry, a group social or cutie?
Social.
I haven't been able to use my command training, and I have 3
Okay.
tokens.
All right.
I guess I can give everybody +1, or anyone who needs it +1 to this roll.
That seems helpful.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Is whoever doesn't have a plus in this, if you can tell me who you are, you can take a +1. Okay.
So
I think, Sarah, you can still roll grit. That's fine,
Okay.
because the rules are that you use that instead of social, so that's
Right.
fine.
I mean, I want to check because it's written with the because there's always a chance it'll erupt into violence.
Right, but I get what you're saying. I think we can swing it in terms of
I'm showing because I would also the next thing I would try for bullshit reasons is resolve, because I'm putting myself on the line.
I was gonna argue resolve because I'm captaining the ship and I'm ready to fucking face this lady down.
Yeah, I think, Captain, that's fine. Resolve is good. Sarah, I think it's in terms of you are just being tough. You're
That's
just
cool.
being, which that's grit. That's a grit roll.
Perfect.
7.
It's a success.
9.
That's a success.
7, because
That's
Petty
a
saved me.
success.
I got 10.
That's a success. All right.
Good odds.
With 5 successes, which is what you needed. All of you needed to succeed, because you can't just talk an AI into killing itself. But
Power
you
of
did.
friendship.
But the power of friendship is
Power
such.
friendship
And science.
and romance.
Science and romance.
So you bring up the exosuit, and Mother transfers itself into the exosuit. Nyx, you know enough about, you've read enough about the Father War, and you know about the way the AI works, that once Mother is out of the system, you can set up the necessary firewalls and protections to make sure that Mother can't come back in. And I think that's an important part of what is about to happen.
Right.
So we make sure that Mother is locked out of the ship controls. Mother is downloaded into the exosuit. And then Sarah and the exosuit get spaced. Just the doors open. All of you have gone to like a sealed, pressurized part of the ship. The exosuit goes out. Sarah, you curl up in your tardigrade form, I think.
I think
right?
Trying to show the goodwill, reaches out one clawed hand to take the exosuit's hand, right? And they kind of go into the thing. And it's like Ed gets ready to do their little curl, but kind of puts one right before the doors open, puts one little clawed foot on the exoskeleton. So as we go out, they could try to kick him away so that we can kind of go
fantastic.
Opposite directions.
So you are spaced. The exosuit flies out. You go in. There's a separation. And I'm going to say you are able to get Sarah back. And the last thing you see of Mother is this exosuit just floating off into the void. And there's one last comm message that says, "Oh, seems you were right. Fascinating." And then the line goes dead, and you all find yourselves in possession of a spaceship that you can pilot to wherever you need to go.
Sarah comes back onto the ship super dehydrated. The skin folds are even more skin foldy, and they have to consume a huge amount of water to rehydrate themselves.
Petty has been a career officer, saving for the day when they can finally retire and Picard style have a vineyard. Make some wine, set up shop, paint all day, and just enjoy the love of their partner Nyx, should they be interested in retiring. So that's what Petty does. I don't know that it happens right away. If there's another mission, she'd probably be tempted to go back out. This was her first love. And other than what she has with Nyx, her greatest. But she's very much looking forward to boots on the ground.
Fantastic. That's a lovely transition to Nyx. What's Nyx up to?
Nyx will go over where Petty goes, and if we go on more missions, then we'll go on more missions. But if not, then Nyx very much becomes that weird scientist, garden lady, who just grows plants and then does science experiments on them to pass the time.
You make the wine.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think immediately after, Mav processes everything that just happened, because this was not a new development for Mav. I think this is one of those everyone else knew, and Mav did not know, and then Mav came into knowing while everyone else still knew. And now has to reckon with what has happened. So I think immediately after, Mav is just very awkward, and then as time starts to go on, Mav's first love is flying, because they just don't get to do that. Well, they didn't until their wings were fashioned. And so I think Mav goes out on really stupid high-speed expeditions and stuff for a little while. And then we'll bring back shiny rocks and like really goofy little things that don't require like a come back singed and like uniform exploded in places. I should have to do this much. I shouldn't be doing this much, but it matters to Mav to do it. Bringing back little things for Glaucus, and then I think if the opportunity presents itself, I think Mav would, if asked, much like their namesake, would retire to become an instructor. Because now there's something worth staying on the ground for. You know? But only if that opportunity comes around and they will make a big deal out of how much they don't want to do it, and then we'll be in a classroom immediately after.
Fantastic.
I love that.
I do think that there is, once this incident gets reported and you are the only survivors, there is a certain prestige that all of you have from
Nice.
making it out alive. So
Yeah,
definitely there
Mav.
are offers on the table for instructorships.
Mav 100% spends like free evenings reciting the most dramatic versions of what happens on missions, like the just awful embellishments and stuff, because they just like watching Glaucus's face while they tell the stories.
Fantastic. And Glaucus, what's going on with our poet?
I think Glaucus, to everybody, maybe including Mav, they retire basically directly after. With Mav like going out on these missions and coming back, I think Glaucus has a lot of time to, of course, pen various poetry, sending it to Sarah to receive back pictures all the time. I think that's something that they immediately do. They're very open about doing this, like making sure to keep in touch with Sarah. But I think like secretly, I feel like they formed like this little coalition to like in all the different planets they have like this spy network that's going on to make sure that this doesn't happen again. They're so paranoid about this happening, and I think outside of like the happiness with Mav and all this, it's very all-consuming. And they just bide their time, are patient, because they know if there is a father, there's a mother, there's probably going to be children spawning around somewhere. So I think they will keep a watchful eye. And Doug is just we're gonna have like we're gonna be like, you can open your own restaurant, Doug. It's fine. But
like a space truck stop version of Doug's.
I just feel like Glaucus hides a lot of like the trauma that they went through and the paranoia. They're just like, yeah, everything's fine. I'm writing poetry about this. It's great. And no, they've developed this whole spy network. They're like, not again, never again.
I'm imagining the parents from Spy Kids, like you have this whole like, oh my god, you're back! Wow, this is great!
So like, yeah, yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. And Sarah, what is our tardigrade up to?
The first thing Sarah does is find someone who knows more about science, probably bribing Nyx now that we're back with the correct equipment, to find out if the berries are people.
That's a good question. The berries are not people.
Well, that's good, because they've been continuing to snack on what few berries they had left, even while they're asking it to be tested. Are the berries people?
Fantastic.
And then, with that resolved, we'll fly with Petty, as long as Petty is commanding vessel, but has no desire to retire. And much like probably is working in concert with Glaucus, feeding them information.
The poetry is like code.
Yes. But like is going out on missions, has enough prestige that they're able to be a little bit particular about the missions that they go out on, are probably, doing some training and then really focusing on the missions that they are interested in. They have no desire currently anymore to actually use power armor. That is no longer a thing that they desire. But they are very intent on stopping illegal AI now that they have come up against this. And illegal AI is absolutely terrifying because if you destroy it, it just goes to something else and makes everything worse. And destroying things is what they're good at. So they have to work with Glaucus to make sure that this doesn't happen. And yes, they will send Glaucus back drawings of the poems that she sent. They will send back drawings of missions that they've been on, and occasionally a book of poetry to help rebuild the library that was destroyed. And we'll try not to get between Glaucus and Maverick too much whenever they're around, and we'll try not to terrify Nyx too much by being in their personal space. But we'll, anytime Captain Petty calls, Sarah is on their crew. And until when that stops, they're off doing their own thing because they still desire to shoot things and light things on fire.
I want to amend mine then and say when you go off on your little missions, I would love to think that Mav is the one flying you, but at first does not know that Glaucus has this firing. She's like, oh yeah, Sarah wants to hang out? Yeah, sure, I got this. Like, we were great together. It's worked out great the first time. And then I figure it out and I help you. Also, anytime you're around, this is a joy. Mav is terrible at at like social cues. The moment you're in the room, Mav's like, oh my god, my dearest friend Sarah. Third wheel? No, wagons need 3 wheels to move. Like, what do you mean?
Carrie will figure it out.
Yeah, Carrie will figure out.
Yeah.
Just like,
Hi,
move it
I'm
around.
this person.
That's it.
Yeah,
It'll
let's
be
do
like
that.
Alex.
On a popsicle stick.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do that.